it is way... fuck it, we're live. We'll do it. Boom. What's good? Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it was zoomed in really big. It kind of looks that way. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this live or in past broadcast over at YouTube, we are watching the Xbox Game Conference. Also, I've been putting off doing this for millennia, fixing the damn thing. Give me a sec. Just talk amongst yourselves while I do real world things. There it is. Copy that. Go over to the damn thing. I keep forgetting to do it like a damn animal. Also, oh, I hate doing the damn thing. We'll do this. That amount. We'll do fucking, I don't know, 30. So we're at. I don't know, 50. And then. Alright. What is good, Fluff? How is morning? How is your morning, buddy? Thank you for being here, because golly. It is... Oh, I don't know how long. I guess that, and then... So that... that... Why is it done like this? It's so weird that the way it's formatted. We'll do the 15, and then we'll do 20, 21... Alright. That's note 2, goddammit. Did that work? Let's see. Fire off. Is that changed? It worked. It worked. I fucking put that off for millennia. Anyways, hello, ladies and gentlemen. How is day? Morning? Whatever. Fluff says, is here. Fluff is here in the house. What's good, Fluff? Thank you for waking up early for me, buddy, and watching this with me. Oh. I am not. I feel a little bit like, wake up. We got this. Come on. Big things happen. I have primed myself with an energy drink for when the inevitable hell comes where I start to gas out. A full-on coffee. What's good, Near? What's good, Near? Also, for whatever reason, the movie people did not give us a bag of popcorn. I don't know if those things are changing. They just gave us a literal, like, trash bag of popcorn. This is like Cineplex, too. It's like an actual, I don't know what's happening. The whole world is getting more weird with pricing and such. But what's good, Near? Near says, also, what's good, Lone Syndicate? But Near says, today on Twitch. Yes, today is Sunday. So every day on Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, or at Twitch, I will later upload this VOD to, of course, the Nether Realm, which is YouTube land, whole thing. So yes. Also, Fluff, did you get the message that I sent? The one where it's the anime mecha thing? You don't have to watch it. I was like, oh, fuck, if I'm doing this, getting Lone Syndicate this anime, then I'll get Fluff his as well. The one I brought up, at least. And also, Lone Syndicate, did you check out the like, I don't know how, for me, if someone suggested me a show, I'd go and look at, like, images to see what it's all about, like, design-wise. But, what do you call it? I found it because it's a Korean anime, I think. Which is interesting. I think it's still dubbed, but yeah. Also, Lone Syndicate says, what's up, Grim? What's good, Lone Syndicate? You ready to watch some games? I hope we get some good shit this time around. Also, it might be a little too loud, but maybe not loud enough as well. We'll have to course correct a little bit, because I'll need to hear it as well. So yes, also, that may be the problem. Is it for me? It's not like that. There we go. Now I can hear a little bit of the thing. Alrighty. Fluff says, I woke up at 5 a.m. today, surprisingly, so I'm nearly a bright-eyed, bushy tail. What about to say, Fluff? Also hilarious. Solid joke. Anyway, but also, damn, 5 a.m., man? Oh, I would just feel sick. Like yeah, you feel present, but then as soon as you get to like 5 p.m., you're just like, what did I do to myself? Near says, I've been playing Diablo Immortal since 2 days. Since 2 days ago, you mean, Near? Yeah, what do you call it, Near? I've been hearing nothing about things about like Diablo Immortals. The gameplay of it is just brilliant, but then the microtransactions are hellish. But if you don't partake in that, then you're living a good life essentially. I do think there's going to be probably a cutoff point for certain people, but maybe at that point they've adjusted. Actually, have they showed any like hint at adjusting their practice or like their adjustment for end game access, stuff like that? Who knows? Who? Fluff says always on Twitch on weekends, clear as day. Fluff, yes. That's our meta for people to kind of easily understand. Is just weekdays or weekends are Twitch. Lone Syndicate says, by the way, Grin, I almost finished that anime. Well, the first season anime. Oh wow, so you already seen that one? You already seen that one? Of course you have. It wasn't good because I was gonna put this in the message, but I've only gotten like bits and pieces of it. But I think the one like weird fucking whatever the goth person looks aesthetically, or maybe she's more Yunder. I don't know what it is, but she looked cool. She like her the type of character, even in the like the short bit that I seen, looked interesting. I think the main character could be a little fucky. I think that's the one thing where I'm like, he's kind of like a baby, also stupid, you know. But yeah, let me know. Is it good? Did you like it, or was it just kind of like it looks pretty, but the characters are kind of. I want to know what you think about it. Also, Fluff says, yeah, surprised there was a Tai Chi. And yeah. Well, first of all, I was like, well, I knew there was a Tai Chi, like that's a whole, or Tenchi, whatever that's called. I know that's a whole series, because I ended up looking into the show because I thought this is such a good show. Like it's really well done in terms of like a more serious perception of anime. Like there's like politics and shit, like kind of like Game of Thrones level of like weird stakes with this character that's just kind of like bulletproof, which is awesome. And yeah, no, I really liked it when I first seen it, but then I seen there was like so many other versions of it, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked at some of them, and they're really old, and I was like, oh, okay. So this is an old. And then they had one weird one that was like a harem-y, like school version of it, but it was like 2-minute episodes or something, like 5-minute episodes. It was weird. Some animes fall under that weird category of like very small runtime. But yeah. Fluff says, I'm sure I'll feel drained later. Yeah. Nier says, yep, played fully F2P. Nice. Yes, that seems to be the best way to get to it. And I think at some point with events, and maybe that's be your access to endgame in some ways, because they have been just getting so much shit by it. But yeah. Basically my reason why I'm like, I don't know if it will change. I don't know if they'll make an effort to be like, okay, the pushback is enough to where we're gonna just have people go out of their way to boycott our game, and therefore that will limit access to whales or something, you know. So maybe they may have to adjust it back down to normal. Cause yeah, a lot of games like that to me, like who have this transactional soul to it, seems like they're kind of built on the back of like a hush. Like, yes, you have access to everything, and because you have access, it makes you have that much more of an incentive to get your foot in the door. And then when they get you in the door, they're like, okay, now we're just gonna bit by bit, through event by event, we're just gonna chuck pebbles at this wall, and eventually one of those pebbles are gonna hit. Fluff says, oh wait, no, before I don't catch it. Lone Syndicate says, I've seen it before. Oh, okay, gotcha. I saw your message this morning and started this. What? Wait, what? You started watching it like immediately, dude? That is brutal. Holy shit. So you meant you when you said, yeah, by the way, Grin, I'm almost finished the anime for the first season. What the fuck? So I gave you that anime late night, you woke up this morning, found it, and then just started fucking letting it rock. That's awesome. How is it thus far? Is it good? Yeah. That's awesome to hear, man. I was like, I think this is a show that I'm looking forward to when it gets dubbed. It looks like freakishly high quality. And I thought you'd like it, because we have very similar kind of shows in that regard. Flo says we even have the plushie of the Cabot from the first Tenchi. Really? That's awesome. Yeah, I did see that. Well, I don't know, what is the premise, by the way, Fluff? Because if you watch the sequel to it, I think you'd like it, for one, because it's a little more, it seemed like adult, like it, again, politic weirdness, kind of like cool back and forth things. But why is he like bulletproof, because that's something that they make prevalent in the show, is like he goes to like, and it's actually a really cool testament to like what I think they could do with space, where instead of hanging out in space, you like go to another world, which at some point is technologically in this environment, but had different like laws of physics. So for them, it's like, yeah, there's magic, there's elves, but there's also like mecha things, giant mechs that rock around. It's like, that's the cool aspect of space and sci-fi. The shitty aspect is like hollow space and like, you know, bland ass open areas, you know? Like, it's like everything looks like a version of the desert and or like the Rocky Mountains, and it's just kind of like, okay, okay. And every now and again there's a weird animal, and you're like, all right, this is not what I was hoping for, you know? But what do you call it? I don't know why Tenchi is the way he is. I think it's made kind of prevalent in this series where he kind of like built up over time. Also, what's good, Beastie? Where like it seems like he's trained by like these space cadets, and that's maybe his body got like altered in that way, and that's why he's basically like a superhuman, like a ferret, essentially. But yeah. Taichi is one of the earliest examples of harem anime, and I watched the first couple. Lots of pretty cool sci-fi. Yeah, look neat. Fluff says, we even have a plushie. Oh, plushie of the Taichi thing. BC says, hello. Also, BC popped in before that. BC says, hello, all you beautiful people. How you doing? What's good, BC? You ready for games? You ready for Fable? By the way, guys, let's talk about my anime. We can talk about animes if you want. But what do you guys think is going to happen this? I told you in the title, all I want to see is Fable. Fable, Fable, Fable. Hopefully, we also see some excitingness for the future, because right now, Sony, I mean, the only thing that I'm really excited for is Witch Hunter, or Witch Hunter basically, Witch of Fire or Fire, whatever the Bulletstorm kind of game is with Van Helsing kind of vibe, but we have that one, and the Final Fantasy is like the only game thus far that I'm like, holy shit, the future looks bright. So I'm really hoping Xbox comes out swinging and is like, hey, here's what 2022 and 3 look like. Like, I'm really hoping we see the Harry Potter game as well. That could be awesome. I wonder if they'll finally get the lesson of like, people want to see like live gameplay not live gameplay trailers, just gameplay trailers to get excited about the games and seeing them actually in action, not just a bunch of CGI stuff. Which some years it's like almost like they keep forgetting that lesson, or maybe it's gaming companies that keep forgetting. And Xbox is like, fuck, like what are we gonna do with this? Fluff says, hope you're able to stick through being F2P for Immortals. I managed with Genshin, but it's one of the less egregious mobile games in the genre. Yeah. But Fluff says, honestly, I wouldn't have known the newer series. The original was sort of a mix between Star Wars and Superman origin. Really? Being the main character grows up on Earth, but gets revealed that his lineage is from some sort of space. Okay, yeah. So that makes more sense. That's why he's a freak. Because in the anime, he's like a weirdo. Like, he's jumping off mountains and like grabbing a vine and like somehow surviving. And people are like, what the fuck is happening? It's very cool to see like it's exactly like that. It's like a Superman version, but super toned down, and like a dude who's incredibly humble and like almost doesn't even know he's that strong, which is fun. Alonso says, also Grin, it's funny you bring up the goth girl. That's because the anime reference is another anime that we have talked about, and that is Day to Live, and the goth girl is based on Kurumi. I was about to say, it has to be. It's too close to the wire. At least they both share too many things for it to be just a coincidence. Like both rock, the goth Lolita look, both like wearing black and red, are obsessed with the Meg. Yeah, well, and this one, it seems like way more fun. Like with the one person in Day to Live, it seems like she's more like femme fatale, and this other one seems like she's more yandere. Yandere possessive, but also like playful. Fluff says, and when the various space ladies find Tenchi vying for his... Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Yeah, kind of same thing in this show a little bit. What's good, Stefan? Stefan says, hello and happy Saturday. What's good, Stefan? You ready for some games? I'm ready for some games. BC says, happy Sunday, hell yeah. Fluff says, there's a lot of points where one of the characters was originally searching for Tenchi's father, but assumed Tenchi was him because his father aged more quickly on Earth. Okay. Huh. And the sequel series, I recall, I think had to do with Tenchi's son, and more harem shenanigans ensue. Oh, I see. Makes sense. Losing says the anime girl, the anime GRINN, is weird, one, but enjoyable. Also, only reason I was able to binge it the way I did is because the episodes are average 14 minutes. Well, if you cut the opening, the credits each are like, oh wow. Okay, so it's like I was not expecting it to be that short. I guess it makes sense when the show looks so fucking crisp. I guess they're like, we gotta save money, so we're gonna make less, but make it look great. Okay. The original Tenchi, Fluff says the original Tenchi was more grounded. The most powerful Tenchi wound up being was just using a lightsaber sort of weapon that was associated with one of the main first introductions to the ladies. Yeah, no, in this one, Tenchi, by the way, Fluff, in the mecha one, he's not. It's actually really cool the way that they make his character, that they make his strength. Tenchi in this mecha show is not that Tenchi is like superhuman. It's just that he can pilot this mech in the most abnormal way possible. So everyone's like using mechs, and they're basically like fighting them like Gundams, like shitty boxer robots, like doing this. And Tenchi's like fucking like actually embodying like a lizard basically, or like embodying like a dragon. Like instead of everyone's so clunky and doing this, or like throwing swords like that, and Tenchi's like fucking like dodging around and moving this mecha body like it's a human entity, and and everyone's like, what the fuck is happening? How are you doing that? And also, yeah, he just has like crazy endurance because of all that. But it's an interesting show. But it definitely doesn't have the too OP of a main character problem. It just kind of has the problem of like, not the problem, it has the main thing of like, oh no, the main character is pretty freakishly strong. I think it is. I think it's categorized as a harem show. I think it happens more towards the end when like he finally gets into like the school and shit. But otherwise, yeah, he's just. It's basically like an alien drops down onto like this planet, happens to dominate the technology that they're currently using, and basically helps figure like push through some political nonsense that's going on in this place. Lone Singer says she is something I haven't seen in anime. They took the childhood friend trope and mixed it with the yandere trope. I'm gonna love it. I know I'm gonna love it. And it's basically childhood friends turned. Yeah, that's what it seems. But also, there's a point in this. Well, yeah, you're almost done season 1. I think it's in season 1. But yeah, there's a point where like it explains like their whole situation and how like she was basically in some ways like fucked up by a person, and they kind of grew apart, and then she kind of like came back after dealing with some sort of traumatic thing. So it's like it's one of the few yandere things that actually kind of in some dark sense makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, before it starts, I gotta use the washroom. Holy shit, I thought I had like 45 seconds. Shit. Luckily, I put this sound on so you guys could hear anyway. Let me know if it's too quiet. Please. Okay.
Rumor has it something's off at the church. There's blood in the baptismal font, and pastor's gone missing. And my genius plan was to investigate it. Alone.
Oh, is this the weird neighborhood watch game? Well, I get no, never mind. This is a gun. That's not the case. Oh, is this Ubisoft's game?
Stress, Layla.
The one with vampires? Didn't miss anything.
Oh, shit.
to be over here. Okay. So look, I like the stylized art style. It seems spoopy, which I'm not sure, you know. I guess that makes sense. A very poppy and like bright punk style with horror. Okay. This seems like Ubisoft game. The one they were like you're fighting vampires. Yeah, it's definitely that. They're vampires. But hey, we got a live gameplay demo. That's what we like to see, boys. It's a little clunky. It's a little like okay. Oof. Them particle effects though. Makes my PC have a seizure. But yes. Okay, we got a flare gun. That makes sense. It just nukes a vampire. At least we've leveled up to like zombies to vampires.
Jacob. Oh, thank God.
Co-op game.
Find the others and beat feet.
Is that like?
Redfall used to look like it was straight out of a postcard. A picturesque island off the coast of Massachusetts. The bustling historic downtown. The seafront district. And everyone's either a vampire, a cultist trying to become a vampire, or dead.
Oh, this is Arcane,
And these
not
aren't
Ubisoft.
just trashy movie vampires. These monsters blocked out the sun and pushed back all the water. Totally cut us off from the outside world.
Does Ubisoft also have
I
a?
admit though, if I have to be stuck on an island full of vampires, I'm glad it's with y'all.
Feelings mutual.
So they're making the same game?
Aw, thanks, Jacob.
Maybe it was always Arcane. I thought Ubisoft was
We've
making a
also got
vampire
Remy,
game.
our engineer genius, and her little robot buddy.
No, I must have just got it completely mixed up. Okay. Huh, never mind.
Who's a good robot? Who's the best robot? And our resident expert on all things creepy.
I prefer the term cryptozoologist.
Is this like a
Each their own.
siege
Last but not least,
kind of thing?
Yours truly.
Or is it an
I
open
have these
world?
weird powers.
Cool.
We've been digging for answers but haven't found much beyond blood and death. Luckily, the vampires and their sycophants aren't discreet about where they like to nest. I'd bet the answers we need are inside those tourist traps turned fortresses.
Is this like yeah? It looks like you're going through missions.
Spotted some
Looks siege
bloodsuckers
kind
in
of
their
based.
fan club near the festival grounds. Let's start there. Ghosting out.
I guess it makes sense if it's co-op, right? V Rising, Vampire the Masquerade, Redfall, etc.
Adam, or just slip past.
Let's just get this done. On my mark. Oh shit, blood bag! They know we're here. Look alive!
This one is mine.
Going up.
I'm happy we're getting a demo. Again, this is voting well. As far as the game, I'm curious what it is. Because it seems like it's like a siege type, like you go into an encounter with your buddies and you're trying to like use each other's utility to win.
Tells me there's a nest nearby.
But
What?
instead of player-based versus player versus environment, right?
Now I simply must go in there.
What is that? Where does it go?
I like the style a lot. It's got a lot of style, which is cool.
Some kind of collective consciousness.
That's impossible.
There's the movie theater. I used to come here all the time.
We
Why'd
need
they
more
have to
co-op
mess
games.
this up for
So
me?
this is good. This is a net positive.
Shit.
It'll collapse any second.
He says, "Oh, Vampire, Left 4 Dead. Yeah, get a little bit of that vibe too. Yeah." I just feel like it seems like you have abilities, and it seems like they're like if somebody has a shield, it's usually like, "Oh, you're gonna need a shield," you know. Yeah, even the way they're showing it, like you're covering your people and all that stuff. Yeah, oh yeah, so I was definitely, this is definitely the Arcane, this is the game I'm thinking of that I thought was Ubisoft, but I guess it's Arcane. Play it day one on Game Pass. We're going to be seeing this every single time where Xbox is like throwing their schlong on the table like, we have a billion games, bitch. Here. It's free, not really, but you know. But most games you can beat in a month, you know? And it's basically like, what, $10, $5 if you get a deal? Pretty fucking insane value. Granted, you don't own your game, so. This is a nice little indie showcase in the middle of a big booba. Whew. But that being said, though, this is one of those indie games that kind of reached a certain level of, like, belovedness. that yeah, is this a sequel? Or is this more like a DLC? But I know people who love this game. Apparently it's one of the better, like, kind of Souls-like games like it. Silk Song! It's been 40 years. Silk Song, is this what that is? Oh, this is a sequel. Okay. Maybe just because I've been watching it on PC, that it makes it seems a little scruffy. Seems a little bit like not as clear. I remember they have beautiful like glowing lighting effects in the previous one, but yes.
Selling humans as drugs. You're the only one that can
Good
stop
actor.
them. Realize we're gonna have to take out the entire alien drug cartel.
Okay, a Rick and Morty, yeah, a Rick and Morty weird first-person shooter.
Me here in what, space?
Everybody lives in space, including you. All right, you're a bounty hunter now. You gotta help me rescue my friends.
This is in
They're
VR
aliens
though.
just like me.
I love this idea.
Hey, why are you squeezing me so tight? How about a little dinner first and some bubble bath maybe first? Look at us!
All right, well, of course they're gonna make it weird, but the idea that you have a roaming gun companion, that's sick. You're fighting bugs?
Oh, yeah, that's one of my children. The
That's
guy said,
terrifying.
Don't worry, it's easy to make more.
I am so excited. That's a little laggy. It's a little bit of frame rate, but anyways, this looks so cool. I can't wait. Also, I think that way of storytelling is so good. Shadows.
I'm knifey. Stab. Yes, more. I need more stabbing.
The bugs look really cool too. The enemies. But what do you call it? Just the idea of like in Shadows of the Dam, you had like this talking gun essentially, and it was such a charming companion.
Fight each other!
This one's more of like a goof nightmare hell, but you know, still good. Okay. That was way bigger in set pieces than I was expecting. Was it high on life?
Well, okay. Well, now I can.
I'm down. That actually seems like it has a budget, whereas a lot of the other games seem like they're just kind of set pieces and very much like secluded. This one seems bigger. I love that. That seems awesome. Weird as always. Weird is always better.
Xbox
Yeah.
and Bethesda Game Showcase.
The game will be
Today, we're doing
giving me
something we've
nightmares.
never done before.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, our entire show is focused on games you can play over the next 12 months. You're going to see more gameplay
Wow.
than we've ever had in a show. Industry-defining racing experiences.
They're learning from
gripping
Bethesda.
narratives, compelling strategy titles, and
give it in a year's
my
time.
Favorite,
So
the
the
most
hype kind of like goes.
anticipated open world RPG of the last 20 years. All playable in the
Oh.
year ahead.
Starfield.
And the best part is, with the Xbox, you'll be able to play those games in more ways than ever before. You can play on your console, PC, or on the go with Xbox Cloud Gaming. You can play with who you want, where you want, and when you want. Today, we're going to show you more than 30 titles that are coming to Game Pass. And that is on top of the hundreds of titles coming to members over the next year. Our next announcement shows that the benefits of Game Pass go well beyond the console. We are thrilled to be working with an iconic team that has built some of the most played, most watched franchises in the entire world. And now, all Game Pass members will be able to unlock the benefits for these incredible games on PC and mobile.
Oh yeah, Beastie. Oh yeah, that's like the only thing we'll see in the future from Xbox is Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass.
Creativity around our games, from clutch plays with friends to unforgettable moments in esports to amazing creations that have blown our minds.
Let's get the
Our
esports
community has
section out of the way.
continually taken Riot Games to new heights. Today, we're proud to invite the Xbox community into that world. We're bringing our biggest PC and mobile games to Game Pass. Subscribers will unlock every champion on League and Wild Rift, all Valorant agents, select cards in Legends of Runeterra, and little legends in Teamfight Tactics. And that's just the start. Thank you for coming on this journey with us, and welcome to Riot Games.
Didn't Riot Games get some schmutz on it this year? Like some sexual harassment nonsense, although, I don't know, it seems like everyone did. So, oof. But, what do you call it?
Home sweet home.
I want more frame rate. Why are we not having more frame rate? when there's just not, there's like 3 frames out of place, it makes things feel so weird. Does that make sense? Sweet, but yeah, no, Game Pass getting thicker. Well, also with multiplayer games, that seems really good. That seems like makes a lot more sense. Well, a lot of these are free, right? I guess not. I think Xbox will probably also like they'll have some sort of deal where they get like exclusive skins or something that will make like Game Pass. You like same thing as Epic. I think Epic has Genshin free Primo Gems if you have it on PC. You can just download the Epic Store and they give you a bunch of free shit just for like technically using Epic Store, which makes sense. You're more likely to like use Epic if you already went that far to use it even a little bit more than normal. Yeah. This video's getting copyright claimed so badly. The one big thing that they have over PlayStation, Sony has the better console. If anyone could get their hands on one, yeah. I'm not. Do they have that much better of a console though? Because even when I looked at the specs, it looked like it was marginally better. Like I think in the last season, PS4 was genuinely better than Xbox One. Like in terms of just the quality, the frame rate. But now it seems like it's pretty neck and neck. Like maybe it's just because we haven't seen a game company utilize the power of the PS5 or whatever it's called. But also isn't there like the big pooba of both of them? So there's technically always like an answer to like, oh, you could get even more. So I think that's their tact, is like people's brains, instead of like, oh, if I want an even better experience, I'll get the best. But I think that's only Xbox has that. I don't think Sony's released their like better than that version. Yeah. BC says, I don't even remember what the PlayStation Pass is. Dude, it's bad. Sony is different, has like a different attack pattern entirely to the way they're approaching the market. And it's funny because Xbox was losing that game, that battle. And then they made this new thing, which seemingly is really good. Oh, okay. I love the Plague games. Are we rocking like the worst possible quality? No, it's the amount. It's 10.
The macula's not just in Hugo's blood. It concerns everybody.
But yeah, the Plague series. It seems like each game the character is getting older and like becoming more of a badass, which actually like makes sense through skill development. It's still actually maybe not.
No more killing soldiers. No more killing us.
I think at this point it's surpassed the indie kind of scene. Maybe not. Well, it feels like some indie games go with like gameplay versus style, and this one seems to still keep style as like the main thing because it looks great. Lone Singing says, well, their version is just PlayStation Plus, added on with some different tiers. You have to play old-ass games. I would say, I don't think Xbox would even be near its popularity if it did anything like that. Like, the fact that they offer games day one is the biggest, like, oh, okay, holy shit. And sometimes earlier and shit, you're like, what? Yes.
You are not them.
What is wrong with me? Hugo. Do it. Quicker.
I only want to finish. Or sorry, I would play these games if it finishes and it's a happy ending. But I'm not gonna devote 3 games to seeing my little brother die. Okay, at the end, not happening. Or I die at the end, my little brother succeeds. No, okay. I want the game to finish, and then I'm like, all right, I will play it when I'm 48 years old, and I'm just like, you know what? It's time to chill out and live for us. Okay. Oh, was I say day one Game Pass? Oh, Forza. These games, they keep making these games, so I guess they have a huge player base like FIFA, but man, for your boy, could not be further from my likes and interests. I don't mind driving, I just think to do that only in a game seems like a little bit, B says exactly. That's so weird. I always buy Plus yearly and keep it moving. I gotta see what's up with that. Yeah. So having the entire roster through the Game Pass is pretty. Yeah. Again, to me, they're making all of the right decisions in terms of Game Pass. But I wonder if we'll have another fucking Netflix scenario where like they basically are like, we just want to dominate the market in this zone, and then we'll increase the price over time, without giving value. Which, you know, I mean, Netflix made a lot of cool shit at the very beginning, and even a little bit towards the middle. So hopefully they do that. Also, I don't think, there's plenty of things where you could see Netflix going down a certain
Forza
path.
Motorsport
I'm not sure if I see that with Xbox
I'm
yet,
Dan
but who knows what could happen.
And I'm joined by Chris Sasaki, creative director at Turn 10. Forza is known for its photoreal beauty and state-of-the-art immersion.
Look at that Hawaiian shirt, man.
Showcase the Xbox
Beautiful
Series
floral
X
pattern.
And S consoles, including
Clean mustache on
techniques
that man.
like real-time ray tracing
Okay.
on track. This is the most technically advanced racing game ever made.
Today, we're excited to show you the all-new Forza Motorsport. Welcome to Maple Valley. This track has been a fan favorite since the original Motorsport.
We're getting a lot of
launched back in
demoed stuff,
2005.
like showcases, not just CGI
For the
nightmares.
first time in Forza Motorsport, fully dynamic time of day brings Maple Valley to life in stunning detail. What you are seeing is an
Exactly what I'm
in-engine
saying.
gameplay
The added game's
demo
way later, yeah.
presented using a single camera with no cuts. Let's jump in with the M8.
That's not me. Is that me? No, it's not. It's them. Give me a sec. I'm just gonna make sure we have the right. If this is. Give me a sec. Yeah, give me a sec. X. Showcase. There we go.
We've completely overhauled the
Nope, that's not the right
driving
one.
experience. This includes a 48 times improvement in the fidelity of our physics simulation. Let's advance time of day here and look at the world. The beautiful fall colors of Maple Valley.
Okay, yeah, that seems to be the problem. The thing I'm using is like another person who has shitty internet connection.
Grass,
Okay, sorry about that.
3D
Much more clear.
vegetation, skies and clouds.
This is actual
They all
Xbox's
demonstrate a
thing.
generational leap
Okay.
in beauty and detail.
The guy I was watching on game of the year thing.
Advanced time again.
Sorry. Yeah. Problems essentially.
You are looking at our all-new dynamic time of day.
It's the most technically advanced racing game, but is it fun? Exactly, Near. It's like we've added 80 more polygons. You can see pores in somebody's face. We're driving cars. Like what? What are we talking about? Holy shit.
In addition to our dynamic
Devon
time
says,
of day,
who races to look at rocks and trees? No shit, yeah. Although I don't know what they could add, to be fair. Like, but unless, why don't they do like a what is it, destructible game that everybody loves, like a racing game? That at least made sense. Do crazy things. Remember the game that you play like a stunt driver where like the world was falling apart around you when you were just running? Burnout, exactly, Burnout. But yes, but you say that's EA. But still, they could just make Burnout, but not Burnout. But like still give all the things and go in that direction. I despise the route in games, which is like it looks 80 times more pretty. Because like I feel like we've already reached the holy shit mark like 10 years ago. Like it's cool that it's shining, but like how much is that taken away from processing power that could be developed in like a gameplay mechanic that actually affects your play style, you know, or in your gameplay options. Granted, you know, is what it is. I think it is also easier to cost-benefit analysis your way to graphics than it is gameplay mechanics, because gameplay mechanics can break things, and graphics are just kind of usually a net positive.
Individual scratches on the bodywork.
Oh my god, scratches. It's cool for people who like racing games. I'm sorry to be so toxic.
Paint peels away at exposed and raised edges, in the wheel abrasions, and even in the dirt buildup.
Yeah, because everything's gonna be blurry like half the time. What's that? What? Yeah.
Using the power of the Xbox Series X and S consoles, ray tracing makes everything feel more connected.
All vehicle
Cars
manufacturers
reflecting
licensed
onto other
don't
cars.
have their cards being
Cars
wrecked because
reflecting their
it
own
sends
mirrors,
bad messages
bodywork,
on safe.
brake rotors, and
Oh,
wings.
gotcha.
Things just feel more
Shitty.
natural.
Let's see. I feel like you could make. Maybe that's where they get their budget. They get like super sponsors by Ford and stuff like that to make these games. That kind of makes sense. I hear people do that with the military too. I think like Call of Duty has a pretty big budget for military glorification, essentially. I think.
Advanced car damage and real-time ray tracing on track lead to a generational leap in immersion. This is the all-new Forza Motorsport.
Near says, "What's the use of looking at a Bertle track and yeah, yeah, exactly. Like when I'm haul-assing down a roadway, the detailed scratches that are ripping my FPS away is the thing that I'm like, yeah." I don't know. I think this is just a weird mark that so many companies seem to be going down is like, but more quality, and it's like, but there's less to do, so I don't care. I don't care at all. People, dude, the most best game in the world for like most people's like most analytical structure is Minecraft. Fucking Minecraft. Like what? That's the best example of like just stop increasing the depth of the polygon bullshittery. I like physics and like just remember like fraction, I think is what's called. Red fraction, that's what it's called. The fucking physical, like, why not have a destructible environment? Put all the assets there instead of like this fucking detailed work, you know? Red fraction, yeah, gorilla, that's what it's. Red fraction gorilla, man. Mwah! The destructible environments, that game still holds up to this day because no other game comes close to that level of shit, you know? But yeah. Rand said, ooh, we got some flying. They're really getting these, hopefully they're getting these out of the way. But you know. At least they're coming this year for people who are interested. That looks like a fucking nightmare, but also really cool. But I would, no way in hell I'd be flying that thing. I feel like a bird would just hit me, a hawk, hit me, take up my wing, I'd just be like, I'm dead, I'm dying. Great. Loziga says, I don't have too many memories of racing games. Like I think I have only one. Yeah, me too. I only have the one because we used to play with my family. My dad and brothers used to all race together. That was one of the things we did. Good old split screen situation. Long wings, yes. Hella surface area. Again. What? Also, how do you have as much understanding of your width with that? Oh, unfortunately, I don't think Volition still owns. Yeah, I know. It's bane. So many games companies that buy up an idea and they're like, yeah, we'll use that title in the future without remembering what made it so valuable or loved. Ooh, we got some Xbox. Of course, we're gonna see this. I heard a lot of weird mixed things with that whole Xbox, not Xbox, with Halo. Sorry, this last year. Some people say positive things about the co-op or multiplayer, and other people said that like some weird things about the story. So I don't know. But I wonder what this is. Is this like Halo Wars or something? Oh. I feel like that was. You teased a lot of people who are like, oh, Flight Sim. Okay, sure. Don't blue ball me like that, you know? Blizzard Entertainment. Oh, right, they own Blizzard now.
Your favorite?
Right? I think so.
Mine's
Yes.
Tracer. She's like, cheers, no, the cavalry's here.
You're one of those heroes, aren't you?
Before me, I see the future. Human. Machine.
You know there's more out there, don't you?
Even the best journeys end. But a new one
Guys,
is
why?
right around the corner.
Never mind. I was gonna say, why is Tracer so hot to so many people? Because it's clearly like a thing. Okay. Well, wait. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, now, wait a minute. I don't know who that person is, but goddamn. We don't have too many beefy women in games. And if they are, they're like, it's all thighs, which I don't, it's not a problem necessarily. Or they're robots or something. Or they're built like Reinhardt, But here's the thing that Overwatch has kind of shit the bed on. I don't know when it's a new character or like a god tier skin, which I feel like is also a compliment. But also, like, is that a new person, or is that just a really intricate way of redesigning skins and shit, like the Bobcat Mercy has? Who is that? Who is this? Like Junkrat's sister, looking like a goddamn animal. Okay, love it. That character's design is sick.
You'll like this one.
Meet Overwatch newest heroes. Is this her? It is. Wastelander, okay. Oh wait, didn't they tease this person? Yeah, they teased this person way back in the day.
No Wastelander has ever made it to the reckoning before.
God damn. God damn.
But here
I get some Jinx vibes, big time.
a free-for-all with 0 rules.
This is rad. Just make a Netflix animated series like Arcane. Stop making games, or just Cause Jesus, I feel like this is what they always want to do, but they're like, oh, they're gonna make a game.
Powell has never lost, not in 13 years of rule.
On the battlefield.
Not until today.
The reckoning begins.
This could be a whole arc.
Did you really think this would be a fair fight?
Oh. Well, neat. Very cool. Very cool. Again, very much get a Jinx vibe, the blue-haired girl from Arcane. But you know, Australian is just literally Mad Max. It's normal Overwatch still going. Yeah, it's a whole thing, dude. I don't know. It's cool to see they're adding new characters though, and I wonder what happened now with them being under Xbox.
From creators that revolutionized the genre.
Filled with moments of greatness.
Oh no.
Pyramids.
Well known, some lost to time. But what about the history
Give
that
me a
could have
sec.
been if you were its architect?
God damn it.
How would you reshape the world?
A parade.
Stop it.
What new stories would you
Why
tell?
can't I get if Xbox only has the goddamn 2 options and the stop describing what's happening?
Would you listen?
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to find a new fucking live stream. God damn it.
How would you
IGNT saved me.
in this new world?
Okay, hey guys.
Citadels
Stop
around
it.
the world.
Stop it. Sorry. Hey, it's just a builder game. Hey, sorry. Again, it said viewer description, but then we weren't hearing anything. Anyways, this. Probably because nothing was happening. Okay, let's back up just a tick. Actually, that's fine. I don't think we missed anything. Okay. Hopefully this one doesn't buffer, and also is good.
Celebrating what's going to be our biggest year yet. That includes a few of the projects being developed across Bethesda's 8 studios, starting with Redfall, and the world's first look at gameplay earlier in the show.
Oh right, Redfall was Bethesda.
Redfall's from the
Right.
studio that brought us Dishonored and Prey. It's got so much of Arcane's DNA coursing through its veins.
That makes sense.
Compelling heroes,
That
open
looks like
world
that.
campaign, deep customization. Solo or with friends, we can't wait for you to play Redfall when it releases early next year. If you're looking for something to sink your teeth into right now, we've got the Elder Scrolls Online, where you can adventure alongside one of the biggest and most welcoming communities in gaming. This year's ZeniMax Online Studios is taking you somewhere that has never been explored in any Elder Scrolls
They
game.
refused to make a movie.
The Elder Scrolls Online High Isle comes to Xbox next week.
For generations, the Breton elite have
Why
lived
does it look like shit? Stop looking so
in
terrible.
safety and comfort.
That looks good now. Nice.
But now, the embers of dissent glow beneath the pomp and circumstance. And whispers of a sinister plot.
The PvE mode will be paid for. The PvP mode will be free. Yeah. Which makes sense. That seems like the place where most people are going. I just fear for that outcome because I don't think the sales for the PvP are going to be anywhere near for the, or PvE are going to be anywhere near for the PvP. So I feel like it's just going to, like, game companies are going to be like, why are we even making the PvE thing? But then it's just consumers are going to be like, well, wait, when there's only multiplayer, I don't want to play that, you know? It's just like the idea makes things more comforting. Like, oh, I'll play the PvP now, and then when I have more time, I'll play the PvE. So I feel like it's just It's going to be a route where they get the wrong answer, which is why no one's playing the PvE. Stop making it. But it's like, wait, that adds value.
25 this year. As we celebrate the legacy of this storied franchise, Bethesda Game Studios takes
I have no
Fallout
idea what the
76
PvE is about
players
exactly,
out
Beastie.
of Appalachia for the first time and returns to a beloved location. Expeditions: The Pit is coming this September.
I heard a lot of good things about this. Like, they rebranded it. I don't know if they did enough to where people are like, yay, it's better than Fallout 5 or like a brand new single player experience. but I think it got better. Oh, no shit.
Good news we've had in a while.
The
It might
Pit?
not look like much. This place is our home, and together we
The Pit was like a blood cult in Fallout New Vegas.
fanatics.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, let's go.
I feel like this is probably a fun time. Just with the co-op things. I don't know if I like the durability to being a constant nightmare hell, but you know. Or if I don't mind that mechanic of like durability being degraded. If you could like take your weapon and like put it into like a chamber that starts to repair it, and then you're like you have to not use it for a day, and then you basically just swap out your favorite two weapons. That actually encourages players having more than one weapon and having player choice. But the fact that like I have a weapon that breaks, I'm like I just will never use the good weapon. I'll just always use like a broken stick and get good at like hitting a person 1,000 times, you know? Oh, is that it was a DLC for Fallout 3? Okay, maybe there's multiple pits in the thing. Oh, 2 T's. Maybe it's different. They teased this before. Oh, okay. Stefan says, gotta run. The baby is up. Have fun, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by, Stefan.
Bethesda Game Studios has been busy, and not just with Fallout 76. After defining the role-playing genre with hits like Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, and Fallout 4, they're going even bigger with Starfield.
Yes.
Later in the show, my good friend Todd Howard will be here to reveal more of their next epic RPG.
Give us the gameplay trailer. Hit us with it. It's supposed to come out next year, so we deserve a gameplay trailer at this point. Like a classic Skyrim. You can go to the top of that hill. I'm telling you. That was actually really cool. That was one of the coolest Game Front conferences ever. And also, you could do that. It wasn't just bullshittery. But no, I'm hopeful. Over 20 million players worldwide. It's another racing game. Great. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's Hot Wheels. Okay. Hey, this is what we were talking about, doing something a little bit different. None of these cars are branded, like Fluff was saying, because no one wants to see their car get broken, because it diminishes value or whatever. There's some champions that do say that's okay. This seems like different, at least. And I mean, Mario Kart's like super fucking successful. So it makes sense this is the lens of like a Mario Kart meets, well, maybe not. I'm not seeing any abilities be picked up, but I think that would be a good way for them to move. Mario Kart meets like Forza meets Hot Wheels. It does also make it feel mucky because Hot Wheels are literally toys to be sold. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm playing an ad. But okay, most things become playing an ad, honestly. Losika says, yes, Grin, we have seen you play Dying Light. I have seen you never use legendary weapons. I mean, come on. You can repair them, though. That's my point. Is when I can fix them, I'm all good. I'll use them.
To give us a chance to start over.
Oh, is this a Horizon?
Earth are the creatures they sent along with us.
No. Oh, this is that Jurassic Park game?
And here on Arat, every day.
No, this is Avatar. I'll wait. I'll shut up. It is Ark?
But if anyone can tame this new world, we can.
What the fuck is happening? Oh my god, there's Vin Diesel in a video game. Is this 2006? Or whatever, 12? Vin Diesel on a motherfucking Ark. Yeah, okay. Okay. You can play Vin Diesel. Okay. Oh my god. You know Vin is happy to be back in games. He seems like such a genuine animal. Like the Aliens universe, but the worst part of it. Like the creepy crawlers, the face huggers, that. Not like the cool biological, like plated, like alien skulls and shit, no. Just gross
When the gods first
chitin
emerged
thing.
from the great below, we saw them as saviors.
All right.
Instead, they unleashed a pestilence on our world. No one yet knows if you can kill a god.
New game?
I, for one, intend to find out.
Okay. Oh no, this is New World, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, maybe this is a new game. It looks very MMO-y. Ooh, you can summon little imps. That's pretty dope. New game, yeah. I thought it was New World at first. Cause like when she did that attack, it looked very like animated, you know. Looks like it doesn't have the biggest budget, which is fine. It's like a weird pirate meets like spellcaster slash like Spirit of the Woods kind of idea. That's neat. Some boss combos at least. It feels like something's missing a little bit. You know what I mean? Like there should be some sort of like buildable mechanic. I don't think, is that on me? That might be on me. Let's go back to live. All right, well, look neat. Reminds me of Conan. Yeah, like I feel like it has something. It needs to have like a building mechanic or something because its combat doesn't look like too like flowy. You know what I mean? Looks very like set piecey, which is fine. But yeah. Something Studios. A new game, Minecraft. It's a Minecraft font from the creators of Minecraft. Holy shit, Mojang. Oh, that's what that said. Mojang 2.
Legends hold great power.
Minecraft.
They are the dreams we weave.
Cinematic footage.
Into our shared story. Some legends tell of peace and the beauty of simplicity.
Is this Minecraft 2? Related to Minecraft Dungeon? Maybe.
Some tell of danger.
Oh, okay.
And the end of all things.
This is like an expansion of the Minecraft thing? Well, no, it's a new game, so maybe it's like a first-person version of it? I don't know how well that would work.
Are legends of hope, of creativity, and of bravery.
Looks like there's a lot of new things.
And friendship.
Oh, so they're rocking like 80 mods that make everything look beautiful. And your PC can't handle it, okay? Even though it's a square block world.
This is the legend of a united overworld. United by you.
Sorry about the dogs. Okay, so it's like a conquest Minecraft kind of game. Still third person, still very Diablo-esque. Okay, so they've automated building. So it seems like a tower defense kind of situation where you build like a base and you just auto build it and then you defend it for the waves coming. Okay, but it's not first person, it's like a third person type situation. It probably would be fun. Yeah, I guess if they're making a whole new game, I was hoping that it'd be like maybe something different completely. But neat. Day one game pass. Whoa. Looks like Warcraft and Minecraft. Yeah, a little bit. The leg, I know. It's just leg spikes every now and again.
I remember when you first arrived.
What the?
You made quite the entrance.
Save the world? Wait, what? No, this is not it. I'm mistaking. I'm misunderstanding. No, it's not that. It's... Oh, it's No Man's Sky?
You wanted to make a new life for yourself.
That doesn't seem right either. Definitely not right. Mecha Minecraft? Why is it lagging? Stop it. Let's go back 2 ticks. So it loads like a fucking little bit. Shit. I think it's neat. I don't know if can I get out of the mech? You can. No, you can't. No, you're always in mech. All right. This seems like what is it from the developers of a on a distant planet or whatever it's called. Kind of cute. Journey to a Savage Planet is what I'm thinking.
Explored, you uncovered a mystery. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this.
It's co-op at least.
Together.
Lightyear Frontier 2023. Neat. Why do they specify PC Game Pass? Yeah. Has a No Man's Sky vibe. Yeah. I like it seemed like it was detailed. Oh, we got the one game coming finally to console, baby. Maybe it was always there. But yeah, Gunfire Reborn, solid game. Such a joy to play when you do play it. Co-op is such a blast too. It's actually one of the games that really feels like it's fun to play co-op otherwise, where some games it's like they make it too hard or they scale up the damage to where you're not doing it nearly enough damage to feel good. But no, this game has a really good structure. In fact, I would love to see what the developers of this game create if they were given a big budget. Because yeah, I think it could be insane. Because they're like the way they balance like so many characters. Like they're the early access success story of like them actually adding on top of the game. It seems like tons of new characters. They didn't just stop uploading, or like make something the community didn't want. It seemed like. It already has it on console. Yeah, I was thinking, why are they showing it now? That's why I was like, is it on console now? No, probably not. Coming October. Oh, it's just coming to Game Pass. I see. Okay, so it's like, hey, it's gonna be cheaper on Game Pass now. Neat. Once again, it says, not save the world. It hasn't had an update forever. I know. I was excited. I was like, holy shit! Are they like taking 1/8 of the money they made from Fortnite and putting it back into the PvE setting? And of course not. Never mind. I was like, is this an Arkham thing? No. Or like Suicide Squad thing? No. I'm getting Clue vibes.
Hello? Anyone here?
Okay.
I got a bad feeling about this.
No, we haven't had one of these games in a while. I don't know why I'm into it though.
There must be more. That's him. My father. I can guide you through his memories.
Oh, we have like a Cthulhu of companion. Or enemy. I like it. Maybe it's just, I haven't seen one of these in a hot minute. But yeah. Especially after playing the fucking dating sim game we're playing. Cthulhu looking different. Okay.
It is good to see you, you old devil.
It has a weird art style. Like, just different enough, you know what I mean? Neat. I wonder if this is already out, or if it's, because I can't tell what it's like, a new game that's coming to, it's going to be like live day one on Game Pass, or it's just a game that's already been out for a while, but now is coming to Game Pass. I wish they would determine that. I have a bad feeling about this. Also, main character. I'm gonna walk further in.
I am excited to be here
possibly
today
suicidal,
to tell you
frankly.
more about Interior Night's first original creation, As Dusk Falls. It started with the desire to create a deep interactive experience all levels of players can enjoy together. Because stories are brilliant, universal tools that help us understand the heartbreaking beauty of life.
Why are so many game devs
This
French.
game is an
So many of them.
uncompromising tale of family, resilience, and sacrifice, written like a prestige TV show with a unique motion graphic novel style that triggers the imagination. This is an interactive story powered by video games that gives you agency over the lives of far from perfect human beings. This is a thought-provoking experience you can play with people you love, discover insights about each other, and create shared memories.
It's like a From
As
Dawn
Dusk
or whatever it's
Falls
called.
is an emotional experience that we hope will leave a mark with everyone who plays it.
Okay, can we see gameplay? Nope, it's just happening. Okay. Alright. The bunny girl in particular. Oh yeah, already had. Not what I meant, it's finally coming to console. Oh no, it is coming. Okay, gotcha. It was on early access for a long time. Oh, I see, so it's live now, makes sense. Gotcha.
Turok is just a pit stop.
Oh, they are showing it, nice. Yeah, I don't know if...
taking the scenic route your idea?
I'm sorry, this art style looks dated to me. Maybe some people love it.
For us,
it feels quite old and very cheap. I apologize. I should shut up. But it's
You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. We've been in the wrong place forever.
Sometimes doing the right thing is doing the wrong thing.
maybe it's the best story you've ever seen. I still don't think I can look at this for more than
escaped that night.
a little bit.
It's okay.
Even those of us who made it out alive.
The art style is hand-drawn over photos. I was about to say, it looks like, sorry to say, it looks like a picture. Like, you know how you could take like an Instagram photo and make it cartoony? Kind of take it looks like that. Like it's I just go for style. Just make some like quirky looking characters. I like.
Get rid of the cop.
It's also more difficult to do this.
Hey there.
It's more difficult to draw this
Sam.
detail.
Say, you haven't seen three fellas in a blue pickup, have you?
Nope. Been here all day.
How you liking the desert dream?
Oh, can't complain.
Can I ask what brings you to Turok?
I mean, again, for people who like the choice games, there's not too many of them now in recent memory. So, game free to play if you like the crazy choices. It's still images of actual people. I know, but that's what makes it to me seem very weird. Like if it was almost like a weird, goofy character, like a stylized character, I would feel better about like okay. But it's something about it being like it feels like it triggers the uncanny valley effect in me in some cases where I'm like, that looks slightly off, you know. But again, that's different for everyone, like you were telling me, Fluff, a while ago. So. Ooh, this game is not one of them pay-to-win-ish, not pay-to-win, but it's very monetized, it seems like. I don't think egregiously so, but yeah. It's neat, it's like a battle royale, like Japanese fighter, I think. Unless this is slightly different, but the same. No, it looks the same as the other one. Frankly, they're showing like these games, which I'm sure are like smart to put on Game Pass because they're kind of like good enough to where you could play them like now or 5 years from now, and I still think people would be like, yeah, it's kind of fun, it's a fun night. Me and my friend got into it, and we're looking for a game to play together. We tried to play this, and we had fun, But yes, but also I wonder if that's the kind of the sentiment here is like when a game kind of reaches its max capacity threshold for like access, that's when they're like, okay, now take it, take it, Game Pass, have it. I think that's actually the thing that Game Pass should stray away from. I think they'd be better off getting like something day one for more money than, because I think that makes it seem like it has more value. Isn't this like Narata Blue Point? Maybe. I thought this was that one battle royale, like Japanese fighter game, martial art fighter game, included in Game Pass. Maybe it's different. I don't know the name of that game though off the top of my head. I think it's Blade Point or something. I don't know. My guesses have been quite horrible this whole time. Also, I'm gonna crack up my energy drink finally. World premiere. Hit us with, yeah, pull me back, Xbox. Start to tune out. It's starting to be like, it says it right there. How many seconds? Oh, it is Blade Point? Yeah, I have no idea of that game I was talking about, though. So I I have no idea if that is the game that we're both thinking about. That's why I say I don't know. Yeah. Nope. It's another. I mean, it's cool that indie games are here. I don't know. I guess it makes sense. You know, you get pulled in by one game, and you're like, okay, this is not for me. Step back. This at least I like the style of it. What's going on in here? Eesh. I'm sorry, Father. Someone has died. Naked Tushy. Are you playing? What's his name? The guy who, what's his? It's a playwright. Da Vinci? No, I think it's right. Da Vinci. Wait, what? Obsidian is making this? Okay, I mean that's, yeah. Obsidian's kind of like a beast, so it's probably good. Unless I misread that really fast, which I might have. I mean, Microsoft literally bought up a ton of former indie. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I just feel like they might have been like, hey, maybe like play a game that's like, you know, make it like visually, like, yeah. Like we'll give you more time with that indie game. What is this?
Special breaking report. More local
Is this Hello Neighbor?
gone missing. This could be linked to the disturbing trend
No, this is Grounded.
from our otherwise quiet town.
Grounded. I took a break from that game. Hopefully it popped off. Is it finally finished?
Contact the police department.
Or is it like finished? Like,
Great news.
can you have a legion of ants?
But that can be repaired.
Because if you can have a legion of ants or various bugs, I'm in.
You will need to survive the yard against terrifying insects and treacherous wastelands.
So just kind of like an explorer boss
My memory
fighter.
chip is a little rusty, but with a little maintenance, we can unravel why you are here.
Huh.
Before someone or something
This game
terminates your tiny existence.
perfectly harmonized fear, where no other company has done yet that, to the extent in which a giant creepy spider bolting at you full mass is the worst thing ever. Actually, they added taming and slash mounts at some point. Oh, really? Like, can you actually, like, is it like, a lot of games do taming, but it's basically like, yeah, you have my affection for 2 hours, which is 5 minutes in a game. And you're like, well, I can't do anything with that. You know? If I could, like Ark, if I could, like, find something, raise it, and then, like, make it stronger, that's the shit that'll keep you hooked for a good bit, a couple hours. Having a legion of, like, beetles just devour a spider, and like, now what, bitch? Available on September. Full game? Okay. Okay, so the game's fully finished, I guess. That's the only reason why it would make sense coming to Game Pass, right? Nier says it's like a Honey I Shrunk. Yeah, Honey I Shrunk the Kids game. Yeah, it's actually very fun. But to me, it was like, please add something for us to have fun in this world with, besides like very limited base building and like just fighting bosses essentially.
Someone who does not exist. The shadow.
Oh, is this a sequel to that one other game that's like
child?
It's like a dark assassin guy too. Except it's red.
Lost. Until now.
But Mecha. Huh. My brother just died. Oh God, get a nap. Wait, we're robots.
Now they have awakened me.
You bitch. You killed my friend. I imagine if they added like voices to these things, you could really.
I am their reckoning.
That'd be such a funny idea for a video. Like adding voices to all the robots as they die. Like, please stop, I want to live. And then the one charging at you, you killed my wife, you son of a bitch. You're like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I am human woman. Mom, Terminator. Yeah.
It's a lie.
This is Sarah Connor coming back as a ghost. Okay, some sort of techno ghost. hot take. The one, I don't know how to phrase the sentence. There was a Terminator game that was third person. It was pretty fun.
I speak now to those who heed a darker call.
All right.
Those bold enough to cross the line of sin for deeper knowledge.
Do we have a Necromancer game?
An unquenchable yearning.
Don't lick it.
Born of blood and bone. To unlock the forbidden secrets and foulest black
Argument. I'm not sure what that is.
Calling forth life from death.
We may have a Necromancer game. Well, that was a lot. Hey, I'm gonna revive you just to kill you. What?
Truly embrace this power, you must take it into the world.
Okay.
You will be shunned, scorned.
We might have a Necromancer game.
As a living sacrifice to this profane knowledge.
Feels like the idea of Overlord, where you're like the bad guy, but like not, but kind of, like good bit. But like everyone else is shitty. This is like.
You will be a priest of Rathma, a necromancer.
Is it like a top-down side-scroller kind of thing? Probably.
And you will not confront the darkness alone.
That's the only time when these games get made. You can never play a first-person Necromancer, unfortunately. Oh, it is! Fluff was fucking on money. It is a tease for the Diablo trailer. All right, good eye. So you can play the Necromancer. Very cool. Tempting. Very tempting. Because look how cool you look. But again, top down. Again, it's always like games like that that do it.
I'm very excited to announce our fifth and final class. The Necromancer, a commander of the undead who joins the other iconic classes around the campfire in Diablo 4. These include the mighty barbarian, the elemental sorceress, the crafty rogue, and the powerful druid. And you'll want them because the demon Lilith, the daughter of hatred, has returned and spreading corruption and evil as she fights to reclaim our dark gothic world as her own. And it's up to you to stop her. Now, Diablo 4 is the culmination of the 25-year history of the franchise, building on top of the best of what's come before with some, unique twists all its own. So let's dig a little deeper by watching, for the first time I might add, some Xbox Series X gameplay, while hearing from a few of the many people behind the game.
Okay, we get some gameplay finally, with some dev diary talk. Everything you see was captured on Xbox One Series X.
Diablo 4 is the next generation of action RPG, melding monster slaying and.
So do you think Diablo 4 will be what the one game was, but just without the microtransaction fuckery? I feel like that's the vibe.
It's creepy.
Diablo 4 is all about.
I know Fluff's gonna play the druid.
It takes all of the pillars of a Diablo game and just expands them with all the new features that people really love and appreciate in modern games.
Ooh, that bear looks mean as hell.
Whoever you see yourself being, you can create in Diablo 4.
God damn, that's a beefy ass boy.
Robust character customization, because then I can play the fantasy that I want.
It's a little weird because you're like fucking 20 feet back from the person you're designing, and you're gonna throw a bunch of gear on them as well. Like Saints Row makes sense why there's customization, because most things show your face, Granted, there are some options, but most armor
feels very powerful and
hides
fun.
you.
One of the really cool things about having an open world is your journey that you take throughout Diablo 4 is your own. There's no linear path that you have to follow.
We've got almost 150 dungeons in the game.
You're not feeling positive about Diablo 4 with Diablo Immortal situation? Yeah, I understand. Nier says, we got gameplay 2 years ago too. Yeah, it's true.
You might have a space that begins as a hostile area, but after you've cleared it out,
The evil in this place has been cleansed.
it now becomes a friendly town.
Yeah, now you're like turn-based Lone Snicket, so your tastes have changed over the years. That makes sense.
Sometimes it's a new dungeon.
I feel like if there's a dry spell whilst and this gets published, I think I'd play it, especially now that there's a Necromancer.
They might come back any moment.
Local events are really cool little story segments that happen within the open world.
You'll just be running through the world, and then a local event will pop up, and you can choose to participate in it.
Yeah, like even the other Diablo game, Immortals, has a ton of character customization, but yet no reason to use it. Like, to me, it makes sense if you could turn off some items.
Really have to work together.
Or like a transmog makes perfect sense. That way you could like find the 1 or 2 armors that show your favorite character's face and like body if you have tattoos and shit.
It's so easy to create a community. It makes Diablo more of a social experience.
I hope the social experience is awesome and additive, but not like the way the game is scaled, which I feel like sometimes games do. It's either scaled too much in co-op in the sense of like, oh shit, I can only play.
Created specific zones where players can engage in PvP.
Basically, I like in co-op, everything is so tanky that you're like, I do nothing, and it sucks. Or
you're also opening yourself up to being swung at.
It's too valuable co-op. Like everything dies in 2 seconds. You're like, all right, well, why am I not playing co-op?
The game actually marks you as like a champion on the map.
Oh, is it like you can play like live?
You basically become a loot pinata, and everyone wants to chase you down.
Oh, they're right, because there's PvP in this, right? Right.
The last story mission is really the beginning of a whole different part of the journey.
Now you're set up for the end game, and that end game is rich.
Yeah,
with
Diablo will always
things
be an
to do
isometric
to
game,
allow
yeah.
you to get more and more powerful.
Whether it's new items or new dungeons or new Paragon boards, every single time you come back to play Diablo 4, there's going to be new stuff for you to
It's so easy to create a community, and so easy to piss them off,
for years to come.
as they've done in spades, yeah. Turns out, make everything confusing and ask for more money on top of already making billions. Yeah, love it.
Through the campaign, local events,
Couch co-op,
endgame,
PvP, it almost doesn't end.
And we are so close.
It looks neat. It does look like this is the gameplay of like middle game, I'd hope. I always liked seeing gameplay of Diablo when it was like at end game and the build just like sequencing perfectly. That was always fun. Buzzwords, yeah. Buzzwords, the trailer. Boys, I'm getting scared. We haven't seen any like really big new IPs yet. It's a lot of like, Game Pass is getting more games that have existed for a couple years. You're like, okay. Alright. Sure.
You can finally be a captain. Can you imagine owning your own ship?
Save ship loadouts. Customize your cabin. And your, yeah, cabin. It did too. It made me think it was new. Name your own ship. It's just like the most like, okay. What? Why is this? This is something you should put in like an update log. Like, hey, you can do all this now. Choose your path. Earn unique rewards and have them all stolen from you by douchers. Or be the douchers. Use new cash in, I lost it, to sell loot with ease. This trailer is made for people who can read a mile a minute, over 30 million players. That's insane to me. By the way, it was crazy when I see people just do this, like float around, steal gear for literally 8 hours a day. It was insane. Sea of Thieves. People just grind it. And I was like, why? This game has nothing, dude. It was fun, but just like hollow. At least at the beginning. Now I'm sure there's lots to do, but like at the beginning when people were dedicating 8 hours, I'm like, do you just want a power like a pirate fantasy this badly? I mean, like, good. I'm happy to get this for you, but geez. Okay, so a cash in option. So you mean loot boxes? Yeah, probably. Man, there's so many games that are just that you're like, yeah. This looks cute, but the perfect time to go use the washroom. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Oh, it looks really cool, actually. Oh, well, tell me if it's really cool or not. Day one Game Pass. Day one Game Pass was great. It looks more creepy than yeah. I was about to say a lot of indie games have that, like, we're trying to be creative and they just kind of make a monster and you're like, oh fuck, okay. Lotzicket says only 2 games come to mind when I think Pirates, Sea of Thieves, and AC. Yeah, Black Flag. Black Flag to me is my number 1, but that's also because it's not just like running around all day, you know. Granted, Sea of Thieves isn't either. Also, it has a lot of intricacy in gameplay. But anyways, is this a sequel to Journey? Honestly, it's been a while since we've had a game developed by that company, right? Like Journey, they also had like an underwater game where you could run around. Maybe this is number 2 or whatever. We play a moth. Ooh, I'm not into it. Ooh, I am very not into it. Looks very puzzly. I'll be honest, the devs who made these, yeah. Xbox is like, yeah, we bought a lot of indie devs. We thought, we also gave them a lot of money. They didn't really, kind of just made, they made games as moths. I mean, like, I don't know who this is for. I'm kidding, of course. It's good to see people get creative, but definitely not a big puzzly game. That's like the only thing I talked about, like evolving your taste over time. Also, I'm not sure if I'll ever become that. Like, I'm not sure if I'll ever seek out and play a game that's like a puzzle-based kind of situation, you know? Nier says, it looks more creepy than more creepy than cool. It seems cool though. And Ubisoft quietly shelved Skull and Bones. Well, no, apparently it's still inactive. Or did they recently turn it off? Because I thought we're supposed to see news about that at the next Ubisoft thing. New Skull and Bones thing. I thought there was also a trailer happening. Okay. Team Ninja.
I found you.
Is that like Ninja Theory but changed? Probably not. Probably not. No, definitely not. Oh, it's that game where you're fighting 1,000 people at once. Fluff will know it. Or is this that game that we seen earlier this year where you're running on bamboo stalks? Also, if they busted out Son of Wukong, that'd be great. Oh, Ninja Gaiden or Dead or... Really? It's quite the spectrum. Ninja Gaiden or Dead or Alive. Okay. Ninja Gaiden or Dead or Alive. Wo Long. Fallen Dynasty. Feels like more of a Ninja Gaiden than a Dead or Alive, unfortunately. Unfortunately, maybe. Early 2023. These are all, again, all of the, that's the good news, is that all of these games are coming out in like a year span, which is nice. But also it's like, woo, there's not a lot here. A lot of it's like, okay, well, hopefully we get it. Also, it's like, how much of this is going to be delayed?
Japan is the home to some of the most talented and well-known game creators anywhere in the world. We're thrilled to be working with Koei Tecmo to bring Wolong Fallen Dynasty to Game Pass day one. I'm also excited to be working with Team Ninja.
Says he'll try. He won't say anything.
Long history
At least
of
once.
building incredible action games for Xbox, and it's great to be working with them once again. We know how important it is to our fans to continue to bring more Japanese franchises to Xbox. I'm excited to announce the return of one of the most highly requested and beloved franchises to Xbox from our partners at Atlas.
I'm surprised to see Phil Spencer come out for this. This should be big. Atlas. Love the name. A worldwide RPG phenomenon coming to Xbox. All right. Persona, I think. Okay. Not a remaster even? I thought it'd be like remaster. Is this not Persona? No, it's Persona. Thank God. I was like, oh fuck. Did I mess up now? Persona 3. Oh, they're bringing all of the Personas to Xbox Game Pass. Okay. That makes sense. All right. I feel like it could make people get rock hard if they said we're remastering one of them or something. But this is one hell of a community. The Persona fandom. 2, 3, and maybe 4. Yeah, Lone Syndicate's got this on lock. Yeah. Bang. Same with Flow. This is the one that I was the most into. But also, people said you need to play it 200 hours or something. It was like, I don't have time to play anything for 200 hours. Again, it's one of the games that I have on my checklist of whenever I get to like 40 or I'm probably 80 years old. That's when I'll be like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to take mushrooms and play video games. What a life. What a future. If I can live that long, hopefully. That's also the point. If I live that long, fucking come on. Get me out of here kind of situation. P5R? What's that? Okay, so Persona 3, 4, and 5. Neat. Persona 5 Royale? Is that the... Okay. Game Pass. JRPGs are at times a year.
Now, I'm excited to announce a special partnership.
Yeah, the music always seems good.
Between Xbox Game Studios and one of the greatest creative minds and innovators in our industry. Someone
Peter
that I have
Molyneux.
admired for many years. Today, I'm pleased to share we will be working together to create a brand new experience
half joke.
like we've never seen before.
Thank you, Phil.
Everyone is riding Kojima's Huang. It makes pretty unique games, though, at least. So. Sony's like, you cheap whore.
マイクロソフトの最先端クラウドテクノロジーと市場の変化によってその未知なる構想への挑戦がようやく可能となりました。少し時間はかかるかもしれませんが、これから、Xbox ゲームスタジオと提携し皆さんに喜んでいただけるニュースをお届けしていきたいと思います。ご期待ください。
I wonder if Sony was like, nobody fucking bought your Amazon person back and forth. I'm sure people liked it, but I just don't know if the sales were crazy enough to where Sony's like, oh my god, worth.
We have focused on showing you games that you can play over the next 12 months.
I'm poor for Persona games. I was about to say. A lot of people like Personas because of the same reason why I like Fallout and like in Skyrim, you know. Got a lot of game for your time.
Games from these creators will be coming to Game Pass every single month, including Naraka Blade Point, As Dusk Falls, A Plague Tale Requiem,
that one seems cool.
Pentiment, Persona 5 Royale,
Nice.
Somerville, and Scorn, just to name a few.
Somerville also seems cool.
And we start 2023 with the launches of some of the most anticipated titles from the teams at Xbox and Bethesda. Redfall, Minecraft Legends, Starfield, Forza Motorsport, and more. This has been an incredible year as we achieved record growth across console and Game Pass, with millions of people playing our games every single day. And we have you to thank for that. Whether that's new players joining us through Xbox Cloud Gaming or our longest fans playing on Xbox and PC, we could not have done this without you.
Is this it?
A year ago, we welcomed the talented studios at Bethesda Softworks to Xbox. Their teams have been hard at work, bringing their franchises to Game Pass, shipping updates to their games, and building new experiences for you to enjoy. We know that everyone has been eager to see Starfield. Our show today has highlighted gameplay, so it's only fitting that we end it with an extended first look at one of the most anticipated games in Xbox history. This is Starfield.
I like the gameplay aspect of it. That's cool, but we'll talk about it. Let's enjoy Starfield. Turn on. No Fable, kill me. Wonder is not the field of the stars is so vast, but the man has measured it. Not that the field is so stars is so vast. Space. The most interesting place ever. Not planets, but space. Okay. That was the gameplay. What?
It's hard to express how excited all of us at Bethesda are to be here with you today. We're so grateful you're spending the time, and we know you've waited a long time to finally see Starfield. It's easily our most ambitious game ever. Like our previous games, it's an epic role-playing game where you get to be who you want and go where you want. But this time, you'll be exploring space. So let's jump right in. This is early in the game as you arrive on the mysterious moon of Crete.
That never dawned on me, the fact that we're making like a human face in like a real-time kind of space travel thing. So it's not like Fallout's kind of post-apocalyptic cartoony. Skyrim is like fantasy. So this will be weird to see like an actual detailed face in a world that is also detailed, I think, to look more realistic and more grounded than anything else. I don't know if that's good. See a lot of gray. A lot of gray and swamp-assy kind of situations. But like, it's not like Skyrim where you could run to that mountain and there'd be like a little village on top or some sort of shit, you know? At least I don't think. But let's see. A little judgy outside. Let's see. Like, this is our biggest game yet. There's nothing there, though. There's just a lot of open grass. Okay. Okay. It looks good. Very Star Wars-y, which you can't expect. Space stuff. But see, this is where I'm like, okay, what is there to do here?
Scanners, the abandoned research facility is in this direction.
Crete. Okay. Some tentacle weirdness. There is the thing all the way over there, bugs. Very much feels like the Skyrim descent down the mountain. Here's with it, Todd. Here's with that voiceover. Okay. Neat. The animals don't just murder you on sight. A little bit frame choppy. Is that on my end? Stop it. Stop it. It very much. Oh, no. Let's go a couple ticks back. Sorry about that. I mean, it does look very neutral, like very flat palette of colors. But you know, maybe we'll get to another world and they'll be like super bright, you know. Also, moving through the different levels of rocks seems very like, yeah. which is nothing new for Bethesda. Yeah, a pallet.
The Crimson Fleet are using the facility.
Okay, we're gonna get some combat. Hit me with it. It's not live. Why is it struggling so much to load? Is it on me? I don't think so. Because this is also streamed by IGN, so everyone's internet's all fucky. Or it's mine. Could be mine too. But usually I can see the bar not loaded. I would say that the health bars seem pretty huge. I don't know what it is, but every developer being like, they need to see all of it. I'm like, eh. Oh, that's cool. So you have like a little grav jet. All right, we're going back one tick again. Pirates. New hacking minigame. Bethesda's great, this. I like this. It seems fun. Just different enough. New gun? See, that looks like a huge area with 3 people. That just seems weird. There we go. More people? Maybe? Like a vertibird kind of popping in, dropping some enemies down. Can blow up grav packs, okay. It looks like the color palette is, yeah. Fucking me goddamn to death. Jesus Christ. Load normal. Let's put it in auto because it's fucking a hellish nightmare. Auto. Figure it out. Okay. The movement's neat that you can like jump like a
After some
gravity
initial
pack.
encounters, you're invited to join Constellation, who in the future the game is set in are the last group of space explorers. To meet them, you'll head to the capital city of New Atlantis.
What gives me hope for it is that like the modding community is freakish. So like they'll make mods that make things vibrant, like fluffy and glowy and stuff like this. Right now everything looks very dead. Like very dead. Like hollowness. Like whatever the filter is, it makes me just sad. You know? And maybe that's the tone they're going for. This looks nice though. In moments like that, it looks fine. It looks great, like quality-wise. Like the skin looks freakish.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
Okay, so is it that?
We're all here
Does it zoom in again?
because we're committed to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. As to what they are, what they're building, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
Kind of seems like it's a paced out No Man's Sky. Like instead of just being like, do anything, you're like, I'm overwhelmed. It's like, no, we'll trickle this through.
The artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions.
It does look like they're doing the what is it called? What's good, Rasta? It does look like they're doing the Outer Worlds thing where they zoom into the face back. Which they already kind of did. Yeah, but they keep showing that like zoomed in thing, so I feel like that's why.
Of course, the settled systems is full of groups with other priorities.
I mean, if you think like right now, I'll be honest, I'm a little all over the place. But when you think about like the branching organizations that like are gonna come into play, and like making this choice and that choice, working with bandits to like overthrow everything, working with like the rock force and devouring everything, you know.
No one quits. The only way out is death.
The path ahead may be dangerous, but we are not stopping.
Most Dusties don't even make it this far.
Because whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever.
Definitely feels like they're attempting like what a No Man's Sky
That gives you a
driven
look at
wise
the
would be.
stories in Starfield. But ultimately, it's not our story. It's the story you create by who you are and the choices you make. And that starts with character creation.
Okay. Again, we're in the meta of it's hard to make an ugly person like it.
You can customize all the elements of how you look.
Ooh, Chunky Monkey. Or fucking juiced.
You'll pick a background.
I wonder what time period this is.
Skills.
It looks like where Fallout New Vegas would be, or Fallout 4, would be without the bombs dropping. Like the hairstyles are kind of that 80s-ish kind of realm.
And disadvantages.
60s.
But it's not just
introvert. You can have passive
stats. How your
stats.
Character plays and develops. The skill system combines the best from our previous games, and you can unlock new skills as you level up, and then you rank those skills up by using them and completing challenges. And there's deep crafting systems, from running research projects with resources you find, to crafting weapon mods needed to survive. And you can build your own outposts.
Okay.
These act as a
I
home
would say.
away from home for survival and resource generation. You can choose where and how to build each one, and you can hire characters you meet to keep it up and running.
They took a lot of stuff from
But
mods.
that's not all.
As always.
You can even build your own spaceships.
Sim Settlements had the same thing, where we basically have like a resource generator constantly, which made so much sense. And why they didn't do that, I don't know. But looks like they're doing that now. But that makes it a little more interesting why you have so many open vistas.
Choose crew members.
Just to like mine the shit out of them, basically.
And yes, you can completely customize the look and layout. There's loads of different modules, ship manufacturers, and more.
They give you health,
I have to say, it's
cargo.
so cool. We just absolutely love this.
Pretty neat. I feel like everyone's just gonna have a cargo Chunky Monkey ship. And then, yeah.
It's not just how the ship looks, it's how it performs. From engines to shields to weapon systems. Because yes, you can fly it.
Yeah, people were saying there was leaks that said the flying is too clunky, that's why it got delayed, is to work on that again, was probably amongst other things, but yeah. But this apparently is going to get tweaked again. Ooh, I'm gonna get sick. I'm gonna get sick, but this is pretty cool. It got me back on it when they started talking about resource, like, mining. At least that's kind of like a fun passive thing to do. Because my worry is just that it seems like a lot of the planets seem hollow, like every space game ever. It's like you're basically on Mars with nothing. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? But you could make something, I guess, the response. And again, the fun thing that's going to be crazy about this is that usually every Bethesda game, even if it's rough, always has mods. So they're always going to like find a way to make it something that your idea of what this game could be is your end goal eventually. Because there's someone else who's creating that idea too. Okay, so it's like a port. Neat. Ooh. It's space battles. Yeah, this kind of seems a little bit clunky, like fucking. Someone goes right above you and like, God damn it, turn around. You son of a bitch. Why don't I load so much cargo on this fucking thing? I imagine you have to be able to run away though, so I don't know if there's really a reason to fight.
We can't wait for all of you to experience the game. Thanks again for being with us today, and thanks for all the support you've given us over the decades, especially on this game. It's been an incredible journey for us making it, but we know that's really only the beginning, for it's when all of you play it that the real journey begins. And you may be wondering, just how big is this game? So we thought we'd take one last moment and show you.
I mean, Todd, the planet looked pretty barren.
One of our planets, Jemison. You can land in New Atlantis.
All right, this is a city.
But you can also land and explore anywhere on the planet. And it's not just this planet. It's all the planets in the system. From barren but resource-heavy ice balls to Goldilocks planets with life. And not just this system, but over 100 systems. over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore. We can't wait to see what you find.
1,000 big ass planets. That's probably why there's not a lot on. Like, probably one planet has one city, and it's like kind of where they put all their things. I don't know. That's again. Like when I hear 1,000 planets, I used to think. Now I think, it's gonna be like just a sea of sand or a sea of rocks, you know. But again, I will say the thing that they did do, which seems smart, is they did say, hey, you're like, there's a value to like grinding resources. So if you aggregate a ton of like metal, you can sell it to whatever one of the cities, gain a shit ton of money, buy things, maybe even upgrade your shit. So that to me gives me like, okay, that could be a fun passive gameplay loop, as if you look at the planets not as like exploration areas or side quest farms, but instead by like resource farms. Yeah, when I seen him run around, the world, I was kind of like, okay. Like he stops, he sees some like minerals and he mines them, and I'm like, okay. But it's only like one cluster, so you'd have to like mine, run around, mine. Oof. It's neat. It's neat. Again, I think it'll be fun. I think it's a game that everyone probably is gonna buy anyway, just because of mods, just because of like, it's usually worth their value. Again, just the idea that you could make your ship, you could customize your character. There's side quests, there's factions, there's storylines, there's weapons, there's upgrades, there's RPG mechanics. It seems like there's a lot of like, hey, you know, even when Bethesda games outside of like a Fallout 76, which is trying something entirely different, even like Fallout 4, when it's bad, it's still pretty good. All things considered, at least for me, when I consider games as a whole, when it comes to content, like playability, mods. Again, Bethesda really fucked up, or really like annihilates when you just consider the mods, which is also sad that the mod community has to do so much. But yes. Is it? Let's just wait, make sure we round it off. Just emptied. Yeah. Well, which to me, like, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, like I used to be excited to buy more, and now I'm worried to buy more. And again, they at least have an idea of like, hey, the reason why there's maybe 1,000 cities is because on the outskirts of that one city, maybe that's endgame, and eventually when you want to get the best resources possible, you have to go into a zone which is filled to the gills with attack ships, and you gotta punch through them, you gotta land, and then you just gotta harvest some more. So yeah, maybe that's their kind of their planning. Yes, we expect Bethesda to live up to their namesake, but I don't. Where did it happen? I lost the comment. The fact that also yeah, they said that they're using still like an old ass engine, so it's probably gonna be rough. Like the engine that people like, the next big engine is Epic's engine, but every game company doesn't want to pay Epic residuals, so they're like, it's a whole weird thing. But yeah. Space dogfights are pretty clunky with ships like that. Yeah, I was about to say, like, turn around. Ladies and gentlemen, that was. Let's talk about it. Where is the Bethesda one? Because I'm excited for Starfield for what it's worth. Very neat.
Showing you games that.
Stop, Phil. Very excited for video games, but also leaving a little bit for me to be desired. Let's go to here. Yeah, the combat to me is honestly where I was like, to me, Bethesda has needed to make a giant shift in combat for such a long time, but they have not yet done that. And to me, that's kind of like a big shitty thing. Like, this is the same combat, I think, that we've had in Fallout 4. Also, sorry for that music being so fucking hot. Let me give you a sec. Just a little bit lower. There we go. So what do you call it? There's been so many moments in like the Fallout New Vegas. Same thing with Skyrim. Like Skyrim had the same kind of like, like the combat is just so bare bones for how long you're going to be experiencing and living in this world. And again, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, but like look at the fucking Obsidian and Outer Worlds, where you could like have your companions' abilities and they could like queue up these crazy attacks. And that you had like like grenades that did crazy weird things, and maybe they'll have that in this game too. Like, just to me, it seems like shoot with a shotgun, shoot with an SMG, and we've added a jetpack. That seems like the extent of the new combat in the game, And maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like even the skill tree had like increased assault damage, assault rifle damage. And I'm kind of like, that's it? Like, I'm just going to be able to shoot things less? Is this the kind of idea? Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's like 1,000 companions that all sequence eventually into each other. That'd be great. But at least with the gameplay they showed, it seemed very like you put 2 barrels in a shotgun, you shoot them, you knock them dead, and you can like lay into them with a pistol. You can hide behind cover clunkily and shoot enemies. I don't mean to be negative, and I'm very excited for this game. It's just nice to have an open world game where you have potential like building on top of your base. Again, I'll keep saying this to death. The fact that this game is just basically a template for modders to build off of, to me, is always the point that makes these games kind of undeniably worth their value. Even games that people hate, like Fallout 5, that people dislike immensely, or Fallout 4, no 5. It still has like a bazillion mods that make it a million times better, you know. So I think it's worth it. Again, I like it. It got me back on board when it comes to like, okay, the combat doesn't seem like it's changed or overhauled or interesting or like crazy interesting compared to what I think it should be at this point in the sequel of games. But it's the fact that like, oh, I could go to a planet, I could drop a pod down and start like mining it and gaining a shit ton of resources. I just think like I think there was something like that in Fallout 4, like the settlement system allowed you to like kind of slowly start to take items, but like scrap was only really a buildable item and you couldn't like sell it for anything. And yeah, it kind of became like this is just a resource, but nobody wants just plain scrap or adhesive. So you're kind of just like, I have trash, you know. But maybe in this one you'll be farming actual minerals that will be actually worth a damn. The question then becomes, do they have something that fosters a very, very deep economy? Meaning, is there a reason for me to have like 50 mining outposts that are just aggregating me a ton of material and wealth so that I can like build an insane house or a fucking rocket ship or like an even bigger mining operation? Like where it's a giant fucking forge essentially, and like it takes a 50-mile radius or something, you know? Like, is it like that? Is there like a type of like spaceship that's fucking cracked, like gold plated? Like, do they just let you have an economy that is actually useful? Because in a lot of the Bethesda games, caps are worth nothing. Like you eventually there's nothing to spend 100,000 caps on in the game. So to me, that's something that if they do have this huge infrastructure to build like residual, you know, harvesters essentially, hopefully they have things for you to buy and reasons to buy it. So yeah, but yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about specifically Starfield? Not the conference as a whole yet. I want to talk to you guys about that, but as far as Starfield goes. Again, I still think everyone will play it because it's just a Bethesda game, and it's even when they're bad, they're kind of still worth it. At least for me, for the people who like them, I guess. He says the Goldilocks planet, as in just right, and there won't have any life on them. Yeah, I figure we won't actually get to explore the whole planet. There may be dungeons, interactions when you pick a handicraft. Well, yeah, I'd actually prefer that more. If there was at least like you couldn't explore the entire planet, but I think he said you could explore the whole planet. But if there was just like a dungeon, like each planet had a minimum of like 2 dungeons, maybe a couple of side quests. Maybe 1 or 2 of them have like an actual cool like special weapon that's attached to the uniqueness of the event. But man, like to me, I am just like I think Obsidian is gonna come in and be like, okay, so this is what you think players want, which is more equals better, and Obsidian's gonna be like, no, we're gonna make like unique experiences that are like it's like a special vault or like a special out of the way side quest that branches off into a huge quest where you get like a fucking cyber arm that lets you like just do an incredible thing. And if you didn't do the side quest, you would never have gotten this. But that also makes this so special, you know. And also this cyber arm gives you like access to a weird slew of abilities. Also, you can pick like weird traits at the beginning of the game that genuinely make an impact on your current playthrough, like stuff like that. I think will be what is the response to such, in my opinion, vastness. But vastness doesn't just mean, it could mean emptiness as well, you know what I mean? Starfield does look good, at least, and modding community should have a huge game to sink their. I was about to say that's me and Fluff in the same mindset of like, this is just gonna be a modder is like, hey, the bones are pretty good. Like you got space, like all of this is what modders will be able to. They'll be able to modulate a house from this. I bet they'll be able to modulate like cooler, like the crafting system. They'll make it even better. I wonder if Bethesda, in a lot of ways, builds their games like that. Builds their games is like, listen. all we need to do is make decent bones. I think the modding community would laugh and say, yeah, right. they make good bones. Sometimes it's rough, but a lot of things here look very modular and very like set piece changes kind of things, where I think the modding community could figure it out and make it evolve over time, that kind of thing. Also, to me, it makes even more sense because as the years go by, graphics get better, or processors and RAM and everything gets better, and things work better. That like a game like what do you call it, Fallout 5, you can now run like a bazillion mods without the game just obliterating itself if you have decent enough graphics card. So like it's like almost future proofing your game for the future of degradation, because your community could, when new technology comes available, they can make a whole new shader that eats up more processing power, but at that point you can, and the game gets better, you know? You can climb that mountain. You can land on that planet. Yeah, you can land on that planet. It reminds me of a Peter Molyneux fluff, where there's like a thing where Peter Molyneux is like quoted as being like, you can zoom in on a grain of sand and find and see what's going on in that grain of sand. Everyone's just like, what? Do you realize how fucking insane that is? And it's just like, there's 1,000 planets, all of them exist. It's like, what is it? Just like a barren planet? But also Fluff caught that of like a Goldilocks planet, meaning that's like the one that's gonna have life, that's gonna have like some stuff in there. And I'm sure there's one off planet that has like, it's like a barren ass planet with some sort of like sentient alien that's like fighting for its life and is a mutant freak but is alive, you know. So take it with a grain of salt. It's gonna live up to I'm not sure if it's gonna live up to the claims like that, but I do think it should be a fun time. Should be a pretty chill, fun time. You know, classics Bethesda games. Nier says some decent games came. We'll get to the whole conference as a whole in a minute. As I said, pretty good showcase, but nothing amazing. It's Thursday is gonna be our Boss Factory stream. Yeah. Fluff says, so Thursday is going to be our Boss Factory. Yeah. Boss Factory stream. We're going to customize ourselves Thursday, I think. That's what we're going to do, hopefully. I didn't notice any melee combat, which is disappointing. Yeah, I know. The melee combat, it seemed like they did actually decent. Like better. Not great. Still not great. But better in Fallout 5. Granted, again, modders save the day. Modders, there's like mods where like you can like increase the resistance of yourself when you're holding your fists out or something like that, or holding a melee weapon. Whereas beforehand, it's just like you become a bullet sponge, or you can like do a side quest that gives you like regeneration of skin. So like you heal, you like Wolverine. So you're taking damage, but you're able to heal through it. Stuff like that with investment and with a ton of levels invested into the regen perk that they add. There's tons of mods that fix the problems, but it's weird because like you think Bethesda can see the most endorsed, the most hunted, the most valued mods on the Nexus, and they can just take away all the lewd ones and they'd be fine. And a lot of times they do add some stuff, but just not the other stuff, like the balancing idea of melee and stuff. Everything seems really weird a lot of times in the balancing side of things when Bethesda games launch. Like in Skyrim, the fucking the dragon or the conjuration bow and archery was just fucking insanely stacked, along with being able to go invisible was insanely stacked. In Fallout New Vegas, the critical builds were insane. Like you gain a critical shot for sure, and then you can expend it, was nuts. And yeah, but then the melee builds were always kind of shitty. The spell sword builds were kind of rough at some point, but yeah. Hand-to-hand combat becomes pretty obsolete with I was about to say, yeah, like that's the thing that sucks. Like, it makes sense. And again, we're in Fallout New Vegas. They already did stuff like that, where they like in Fallout New Vegas, man. Fallout New Vegas is so good. Like I am so happy that I think they're owned by Xbox now, and also Bethesda's owned by Xbox now. So hopefully, I'm not sure if they want to make. I'm sure Obsidian's like, no, we'd rather just make our own game. Like we don't want to touch the Fallout franchise anymore. We'll just make our own game. But like to me, in Fallout New Vegas, there was a side quest where you could do this chain of events where you go and like help this redheaded person, who like basically starts to give you like fucking superpowers. It was so cool. Like you basically took down lizards and you got their like regeneration effect. It wasn't crazy, and mods later like increased the level of their amazingness, so it was actually worth a damn. Then you could actually like create a build around this in-game quest. But that was the kind of coolness that existed in Fallout New Vegas that every other Fallout game hasn't really had. Hasn't had that like, holy shit, it's so worth doing this side quest because it genuinely gives you like a cool effect. Now, granted, the regen, again, like I said, on the base game did like nothing. It wasn't enough to heal you, but still something, Still like, holy shit, I can like heal like a mutant? Fuck yeah, let me get that. But also, guess what? Those mods cost a fuck ton of money. So again, it was like, hey, this is something that's going to fortify the economy as well as unlock things for you. I'll say the Rick and Morty game, don't let me forget that. That seemed very exciting to me. That seemed so fun. And I love the concept of that, of like your weapons literally being living things that are like chirping at you as you're fighting. Overall, we're getting a lot of horror/space vampires 2020 onward. Yeah, it looks like a lot of that too. Mods likely answered the question left open by the Starfield offers itself. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, like hey, here's a planet. Like I'm sure there's gonna be a modding community that's like, each planet we're gonna make not shit. We're gonna slowly creep back to the main point. That said, the modding community has seen a decline, pessimism as of late. Yeah, it's true. But even still, even like when there's pessimism, there's still people who are like, fuck it. Because again, like to me, I don't think there's any better, like, and I think Bethesda maybe even knows this, there's no better forge for you to prove that you can actually create things and that you know what you're doing than creating a mod that people like. So even though I think Bethesda's like, yeah, there's some like bitter mod people who have been like making mods for such a long time for us and that we haven't really paid it back to them. And they're annoyed that they're like people not giving them proper credit, which they deserve. But at the same time, I think Bethesda also kind of knows that like this is just such a bastion for devs to, or like aspiring game creators to kind of like make their mark and show people that, hey, I'm applying to work at XYZ company. I done this. Hairstyles definitely are inspired by that era. Yeah, the hairstyles and the customization look great. Again, it's so nice that we're finally getting like this era of customization that seems like it's not only like a fun thing, but even games that don't even make sense why they have it. Like, case in point, Tiny Tina's Wonderland doesn't make sense why that has so much customization like visually. I get it, it's co-op, but still. But yeah, no, it looks like that. We're finally getting characters where they like, I just wish they would keep the template, you know what I mean? Like I wish they would keep the template of like customization and then just put it into other games, because I feel like so many games have to like remake it from the ground up and it always looks scuffed because like there's a shitty hairstyle and weird like two face options, Obsidian does more focus, yeah, but also I feel like Obsidian genuinely looks at the data in which people experience things. Like I think Bethesda knows what sells, and Obsidian knows what people want. And I think that there's that is a big difference. Like I do think that, like, again, if you're thinking like a person is seeing Starfield, this new game, and it's literally like, oh, this is Bethesda's biggest game yet. Sure, that's technically true, but it's also the most empty, So it's kind of like, and who knows? We don't know it's empty. Based on the gameplay, they didn't show us like look at the insanity of this world. You can like literally go to a billion places here and get this. So I think they even are not like arguing that you're exploring a planet that can't support life. So maybe there's some rocks, and maybe you can put a drill in it, and it's be worth it, kind of. Yeah. And they've got Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed to fill in for the Fallout playstyle comic violence and medieval fantasy. Yeah. Well, I'm really happy that the Obsidian, to me, hopefully is like being treated as a AAA developer now. It seems like, because I think they're working on a fantasy game that I think the reason why we haven't heard about that in a while is because I think Xbox seen it and said like, oh, well, could you make this bigger? Like, could you make this not just like, because I think it was not intended to be a AAA full experience. But I think when they got bought up by Xbox is like, no, we'll pay for both of those, because those were both like beloved games. And at the end of the day, Xbox knows they need like the Bethesdas of like the big name, but I think they also know that they need the people like Obsidian, like Outer Worlds, which have just like a ravenous, happy community that's like willing to like genuinely go the distance to support those people, because they're just people, they've earned a certain level of like respect and or execution that people believe in them. We're gonna have our ship be modded like Thomas the Train Edge. Yeah, man. We'd be summoning like Thomases, like drone Thomases, just to wreck the world. The only thing that gets me excited for the Fallout games, it seems like there's always companions, which to me is always like, again, we talk about how like most of us, I think, really enjoy a character and a character who's like interesting and that we slowly get to understand. And like, again, the only thing that I think the Outer Worlds could have done a better job of is if they gave not only you a skill tree, but they gave your characters a greater skill tree, like a whole bunch of depth and not just like kind of like 2 perks or like a 1 line with 2 options, you know. Also, once again, it says, are we rating anyone today? Because Lucas, yes, we're rating Luca, absolutely. I do want to talk to you guys about the thing as a whole, though. There's been rumors. Also, thank you for telling me that. One second. Fluff says there's been rumors about Obsidian maybe working on a new Fallout, New Vegas type game. Ooh. Well, we know that they're making like Outer Worlds, which seems like their literal space successor to that game. Honestly, though, it makes sense because I think like Fallout New Vegas is one of the best selling games for like longevity wise, where I think like Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 peaked at a certain point, but I think New Vegas has only grown in terms of its overall sales throughout a year's period, especially with like the development and all that stuff. Yeah, man, New Vegas is so good. Like especially like Old World Blues is just such a good DLC. It's such a good example of like you actually paying for a DLC. Yeah, like New Vegas to me actually achieved the Fallout 3 idea of like the feeling of like getting an excessive amount of value. Like being able to buy a DLC and actually feel like you're getting a whole ass game or like a whole ass chunk of the game and not just like, you're kind of getting a couple stories and maybe like a new location, maybe, you know. But we shall see. They've got a lot of projects. I was about to say, yeah, that's the only thing that's a little fucky about, what do you call it, Obsidian, is that they're working on too many games, it seems like. They got Grounded, they got all this stuff. But now with Xbox, I think now they're just kind of like, I think they're just good at assembling teams that can make creative stuff. Because again, like I did not expect them to do such an incredible job with Outer Worlds. And I genuinely think Outer Worlds was like, they used their entire budget in all of the right avenues. Like I cannot think of one mechanic in Outer Worlds that was not used and I think liked by a lot of people. What do you call it? Fluff says Obsidian excels at RPGs and Bethesda excels at sandboxes. Yeah, I guess that's true. Like mechanical structure, and then Obsidian. Well, I think Obsidian's main talent is not just RPGs, but it's understanding the things that players want to do, which is why I'm so upset about Grounded, because I thought that was like their best thing. They still haven't. Well, apparently they released Taming. I don't know to what extent that is, Fluff, in Grounded. If it's just like, hey, you can kind of like, you know, like you can quickly make an ant work for you for 5 seconds, and it's like, well, that's pointless. You know, it's like, what the hell? It's like I'm not fueled to like have an ant army, you know, unless I'm able to make whatever they can be tamed by like in droves, which I don't think I can, or at least I wouldn't think they could. But maybe they do. Maybe I'm hopeful. I'm hoping to eat my words with that whole Grounded situation. But it's finished apparently. At least I think that's what they mean by like it coming to Game Pass. I don't know if Game Pass allows early access type things to be updated procedurally on their platform, but they should actually. They were focused on Grounded as something new from Obsidian alongside releasing Outer Worlds, which was so successful after the base game and DLC sold well. So Microsoft likely greenlit a sequel. Yeah, but also I'm excited after the work that they did to Fluff. After the work that Obsidian did for Outer Worlds, I cannot wait to see what their Skyrim kind of like successor or whatever it's going to be, or like their fantasy successor, because to me it's just like, oh boy, if they, and especially I think at that, again, I'm hoping that one has a budget. I hope it's not just linear. I'm hoping it's like maybe a sandbox like you said, or like we said, that Bethesda's good at, that they were taking a knock at that sandbox idea with that as well, you know? And Avowed likely had slow progress due to the pandemic, like many other games that were only seen cinematic trailers. Yeah, a majority of the games have been RPGs. In my point, they've been dabbling in other games or in other genres, but the bread and butter is RPG types. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, give me a sec. Okay. Okay. You guys probably see my face when Phil Spencer looked like he was winding down and my world was shattering. The point that what I feel right now is this was introduced with Phil Spencer saying, this is what you have to look forward in a year span. This is what's going to be trickled out to you throughout a couple in like 12-month span of time. And I'll be honest, I think I seen 2 games that I was like, ooh. It's like the Overwatch game to me, as much as I think the character looks cool, I don't know if this is going to be something that I'm going to like dig into, you know? The one thing that to me looked cool is the Rick and Morty game looks sick. The vampire kind of a game from Dishonored devs looked wicked. I feel like that's going to get delayed because we've seen nothing of it. But you know, I don't know. I feel like I think this was actually really bad. Like, I love the Xbox did a really good job, I think, with what they had, which is to say, they still don't have their dev. I think their devs that they bought still are working on whatever game they bought, and I think they probably told some of them to work on like a quick indie game, which is why we've seen some of the kind of more strange, like, you know, bare bones type things. Like this one, etc. Not that this is bad. It's just I don't like this. To me, look like it could have used a couple more frames or like drawings, etc. But maybe that's being fucked up by me. This one looked cool. The one where it's like you basically like Minecraft, kind of like, what do you call it? Journey to a Savage Planet, kind of Minecraft-y type thing. But to tell you the truth, I genuinely don't know what was here. Like, what do you guys think was exciting? Also, what's good? Karush says, I stubbed my toe. This is a painful day. I'm so sorry, Karush. Yeah, to me, the game I'm excited for is the weird Rick and Morty gun game, which looks freakish. The one game with the Dishonored devs, and it's kind of cool. The Diablo has a Necromancer. That seems fun. But like, genuinely, I don't know. Like, all the games seem like they were mostly indie games or games in genres that I don't know. Maybe I'm just lucked out really poorly, and I just am not. Also Starfield. So I have like 3 games that I'm kind of excited for. But like, I was hoping that Xbox would bring it. Would like bring the shit out of it and be like, hey, the like next year is gonna be a fun time. This game looks cool again, but like, to me, the premise of like this is gonna exist in the future left me just like, oh, there's like 3 games. And none of them are like games to me that make me like fucking excited, with the exception of Starfield, which is the one I gave the most criticism for, just because I think it's, everyone wants to do space, but I feel like so many people don't do space kind of well, with the exception of Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds was like, what if we make space interesting by adding like quirky companies that are fucking batshit? What if we add like crazy capitalism on top of this idea? And what if we make the worlds not barren? What if we make the worlds like have cities and have like underground facilities, which still look kind of boring, but still. As far as this doing what I think their intention was to do, which is to say like Game Pass has value. Game Pass has value. Game Pass has value. I think they have done it. I don't think they've done the thing that basically makes it so that Game Pass is like unarguably like you might as well get it kind of thing, even though I think it's kind of already like that. But if they were to show like Fable, and they were to say like on Game Pass day one, they showed Starfield, which I think is pretty cool. Although I think most people are just gonna buy Starfield just because it's gonna be a game that you're gonna mod, and I think it's gonna be weird to mod that game whilst it's not installed in your thing. But yeah. But I don't know. To me, I genuinely, if this is our E3, I don't know what games. Okay, let me ask you guys the question. I appreciate you guys taking the time to write this, because maybe you'll say something that I'm like, oh, this is a game. What is, out of all the conferences that we've seen, what are the games that you guys are looking forward to in the future? I'll start saying mine, but please, I want to know what you guys are excited for. I'm excited for Saints Row. I'm excited for Redfall. I'm excited for the new Fallout game. The new Starfield. Sorry. I'm excited for the new Rick and Morty game. At least that's coming out this year. I feel like I'm excited for Final Fantasy. That's gonna come out. That was in Sony's. I'm excited for Hunt the Witch. I think it's what it's called, or Burn the Witch. I think is what it's called. Yeah. So I'm excited for 6 games, kind of. And I'll be honest, the games I'm really excited for is Saints Row, Starfield. And that's kind of it. Like, as much as Witchfire, that's what it's called. Thank you, Fluff. Those are the games that I'm kind of juiced for. But like everyone else is the ones where I'm like, we might play it, you know? Like Redfall, I don't know. It seems like very co-op-y. It seems like it's fun, but like we had Back 4 Blood this year, and that was like a good example of you can't just be a co-op game. You need to have like things to do and very interesting reasons to do it, incentives and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm a little. I don't mean to be a downer, but I'm a little disappointed for the year to come. So that's painful because when it's a bad year for gaming, it's usually a bad year for YouTube coverage, video game stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I miss the E3s where at least we seen like when the Outer Worlds was released, like when the Outer Worlds was like, hey, this game's coming. I was like, holy fuck, a game from Obsidian, looks sick. We know a little about it, you know. Yeah, like I miss those years. Like when Dishonored was released, and you see Dishonored 2. Like those were the years where like I don't think I've gotten that for a fucking long time. And it's not that Starfield isn't interesting. It's just that again, I think there's a lot of weird flaws with space, and Bethesda is the only company that can kind of say, well, we have modders. So yeah. Okay, Fluff says DNF Duel, yeah. Sunbreak, I don't know what that one is. Saints Row, Starfield, Redfall. There's some others that I'll need to get a refresher on. Yeah. Me too. I feel like I'm missing like one because I thought I'd seen another one that looked interesting. But yeah, it seems like a lot of ours are kind of aligned with it, with a few little exceptions like DNF Duel, which is a beat-em-up game that looks great, but I haven't played one of those in years, and I'm not sure if I'd be able to get into it. And Final Fantasy 4. Yeah. Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter looks neat, but to me, I wonder if. Yeah, I guess I always want a game that I feel like I can really like fall into. You know what I mean? Which is why like even we haven't seen an Ubisoft. We haven't seen yet what is going to be the next Assassin's Creed or whatever, right? Or Far Cry. But also they're like Ubisoft's is a ways away, right? Ubisoft's isn't for a while, so we have one more conference to watch, which is Ubisoft's, which is usually just like, hey, here's the next like peek behind the curtain of an Assassin's Creed or a Far Cry. And I think they're moving way more towards paid as a service, which a lot of their like rumored things that Ubisoft is working on is like a fucking Assassin's Creed universe, essentially, like no more sequels, maybe spin-offs, but no more sequels, just this main thing that to kind of add on to, which is neat, but also kind of like, I don't know, it lacks that yeah. Also, Ubisoft has fallen hard on NFTs. Yeah. Not so great. But Lone Syndicate says Saints Row, Oh right, Resident Evil 4. I forgot about that. That's a good one to mention. Yeah, that one looks interesting. I don't know if I'll play it, but I think it'd be fun. That's a drop in the bucket of the sphere of gaming. Yeah, you like the Rick and Morty one too, Lonzy? Yeah, that one's exciting too. Final Fantasy 16, and I think I know. See, that's what I mean. Like it's like 3 games. Like for a lot of us, that is like our games that we're like, holy shit, I'm excited. There's a lot of tiny games where we're like, I'll try it. It's because it's like there's nothing. Maybe there'll be some like indie darling games that kind of like pick up because that's also the era that we're living in. Like Fall Guy is just coming out of nowhere and just fucking like dominating, like Fortnite happening and just fucking shredding. PUBG, what do you call it? What's that? Not PUBG. What's it called? That Call of Duty Battle Royale game that popped off. There's a lot of this is like the era of release an idea, see if it works, and then fucking put as much money behind it as possible. Try not to lose the momentum. So yeah. But as far as again, we're going another year without any Fable news. That game better be fucking cracked. It's insane that they've shown 2 trailers of it the previous years, and then have shown nothing the second year. So it's like, why would you show it so early? Like Jesus. I'm excited because I know it exists, but I already knew it existed. There was a lot of like leaked informations of companies getting access to it. Also, I thought the people that made Forza were making the fucking Fable game, and I thought they released like a Forza game. So is that why they got that stopped production? What a bunch of fucking shit if that's the case. Not really for myself, but Resident Evil 4, yeah, that one. I'm not like, I don't think I'll play it because I'm not into like the terror genre. But I think it'll be fun. Let's play to watch for another content creator do. Monster Hunter Rise. Oh, Sunbreak, right? Monster Hunter, right. Comes out the 30th. Oh, that's pretty damn close. Holy shit. Fluff says, yeah, they released Ragnarok expansion for Valhalla most recently, so there's not really a new AC teaser until next year, maybe. Yeah. I mean, that's also the other thing, is that, like, Sony did not mention God of War. So either that's God of War is still coming out, or it's for sure getting delayed. And I don't know, man. That's the other, like, Saints Row and God of War is on the list for me, but fuck, dude. I thought I was really betting on God of War getting pushed, which is not good, but you know. Yeah, well, again, to me, I hate it because Ubisoft is pushing the live service without, like, giving value. You know what I mean? Like, again, like, I would actually be, if Ubisoft created, like, Far Cry, and I talked about this in, like, the Brothers Grin video that basically talked about how to save Wonderland, how to, like, make it so that I think it would genuinely make it so that people are excited to do basic things like Chaos Chambers, which is essentially give me a broken down hut and let me level it up and actually give me reasons to level it up, like getting a slight buff, like being able to get, like, 10,000 moon ore every day, or once a couple days, something. You know, being able to, like, throw money in a crock pot and get a unique, like, 5 unique legendaries that come out of the crock pot, so that there's a reason to grind cash, because money is fundamentally useless as soon as you get the SDUs. Like, you can buy weapons from vending machines, but it's super unoptimal when you can just buy it from bunny statues. So if Ubisoft did, like, a live service game where they're like, here's Far Cry, here's a world and a good template to embark on and find and fight in and conquer, and they gave, like, resources for every single time you conquer, like, a zone / an outpost, and you could take those resources and, like, bring them back to your like, fucking house and, like, level up a bunch of shit to, like, take a broken down house and make it even better, but drastically fucking better. Like, instead of developing so much time making a giant area of a map, condense all that time into making a house that has multiple tiers of investment. And then if they were like, hey, this is you know, the live service stuff is going to add a new area to go to with a new material that helps you level up and get a bunch of new gear, a bunch of new abilities, and then you got to grind through that and your character will get, like, a brand new gun that does a special unique thing. But Ubisoft always does the, like, they don't do enough, I always feel like whether it's like, hey, there's a live service event going on, you could get this weapon. It's literally the same weapon but with better damage, but it's like 2 ticks better, which means you can't even notice it. And it's just like so many people do the live service thing without building their game on the back of concepts that will facilitate giving more content over time. Like adding, like, again, if they passively had a template version in the game of, like, okay, well, eventually after you're done doing the house building, you have companions, and these companions can be your generals, and these generals can help you build up, like, this army that can help you kind of take away the consistent conquering of your bases, because it's supposed to be a sequence. It's supposed to be go do a bunch of outposts, eventually they get reclaimed, and they build up resources for you to conquer and grab again. And for this to be the sequence for you to do it. But so many games don't do live service, to me, with anything in mind. It's literally like, what is the littlest amount that I can give you to make you stay just the slightest bit hooked? And yeah, and it feels like this is, everyone's just like, that's how you get just like ripped off by, like, another game. Or not ripped off, that's how another game just grabs you, because eventually all they need to do is add a little bit more value than that, and you've lost that person forever. Yeah. And still waiting on news for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. Yeah, I was about to say that's hilarious that just takes such a long time to do. Again, it's one of those things where, like, they make the quality of the image like the character models look like fucking beyond quality, and you're like, this is a lot. Like, the detail of these characters' faces is excessive. Like, I don't want to see the pores. I'm okay. Obviously, we're not done with the announcements. This was our E3 of the year, but there's still stuff to come near the end. Yeah, I know, but to me, when it's near the end, it's kind of like, okay, then it's 2 years away or something. You're like, okay, honestly, at least there's something to look forward to. But yeah. Fluff says Playground Games is Forza Horizon, different from Forza Motorsport. Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Fluff says, it's like how COD has half a dozen dev teams pumping out annual releases. Yeah. DNF Duel is on June 28th, 2 days before Sunbreak, and Outriders World Slayer. Oh, okay. I forgot we had Outriders World Slayer here. Also, I got a bit of fuzz on my phone. Interesting. Fluff says, we'll likely get more of the God of War Ragnarok on TGA. What is that again? The Game Awards? Is that right? The Game Awards, got it. Yeah. The Game Awards probably. As I imagine it won't be until later 2023. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's probably getting delayed, which is kind of shitty because, you know, again, it's been a while since we've had like a big Pooba AAA game. At least it feels that way to me. At least one that I've been, I guess, really interested in. As I imagine, it won't be until 2023. This game looks interesting too. Urban, or yeah, is this the one? The one that's like the you can make like a base. I mean, they've got Final Fantasy 16 and Forspoken. Oh right, forgot Forspoken. Right. Yeah, Forspoken is also the other game I'm really excited for. But that's also one that people are speculating that might get delayed, but it already got kind of pushed. So you feel like they would just do it. So yeah, that's the other game. Sorry. So we got Saints Row, Forspoken, and Final Fantasy. And what do you call it? This game, not what is it called? Fucking goddamn it, the Starfield, and the Rick and Morty game. Those are the three that I'm like big poo. But I forgot about Forspoken. That was the one I missed out. But yeah, that game to me looks fun. That one looks like Infamous. I wish I could play a dude, but just because it's like an isekai thing, it'd be fun to play an actual isekai as your gender. But it also looks cool. It also looks like the kind of game that's a little bit barren, but you know, what can we do? Did Starfield include a release date? Because I know they delayed it. Yeah, no, I think they recently gave another update for the delay. It's still coming out this year, I think. It's just super delayed. It's like very, very close towards the end of the year, I think. Losik says, you know, another game I wish would get a sequel is Sunset Over. Dude, 100%. Which is also why, what is the game that we seen recently that had like a Sunset Overdrive vibe? I don't think it was Forspoken, but it was something. It might have been actually Forspoken a little bit. It has that kind of like bouncy kind of like flow around everything, but also Sunset Overdrive was so much more than just movement. It was like its art style, its humor. Man, that was such a shame. That was one of those games that I think everybody who played it said like it deserved way more than it got, which is a shame because it also released and like had poor marketing. It released around an era where people were like playing different games, unfortunately. Also, it was an exclusive to Xbox, which didn't help. That'd be up to Insomniac, and I don't think they care to work on with Xbox ever again. I was about to say, yeah. Urban was one of the lady fighting in Conan Exile / Arc like word. Oh, I see. Okay. Insomniac got Marvel IPs to finish. I was about to say, yeah. Insomniac is like just cooking when it comes to like they have probably one of the best track records in gaming right now, at least for the last schedule of uploads. And here I am wanting more Ratchet and Clank, despite not having played the last one because it's on PS4 exclusive, and it's just I can't play it because I don't have time. But yeah. Plus PC ports for Spider-Man Remaster and Miles Morales. Yeah, there's a lot to do. Most of the time, Insomniac has worked on non-Sony titles. It's been bad results, or just less than expected. Yeah, well, I think Sony also like is fully like Sony is unarguably really good at investing in games. Like I think whereas Xbox I feel like is always like, well, what can you do? Like, what is the amount that you can get it done with? And if they go past that, Xbox is like, well, wait. I'm gonna fire you. Whereas I think Sony is more like, we'll give you more money. Okay, sure. Your game made how much money? Yeah. And we sold how much more copies of our console and whatnot because of this? Yeah. Sure, have more money. Fuse came before a Sunset Overdrive, and at least Sunset Overdrive was far better results. I forgot what Fuse was. Fuse is a victim of focus group crap. Sony key exclusive devs do a lot of good things for them. God of War and Naughty Dog for I was about to say when Sony came out with the Last of Us kind of thing, which we didn't get a cover. I was kind of like, wow. I don't know, man. I don't know why. To me, it makes sense that there's a sequel of like a TV show about Last of Us, but it does feel, I don't know. It feels very weird in some regards. Like I don't know. Like I've never seen a director of a movie be like, hey, let's make this game, you know, that's not like the most pretentious thing ever. So to see like games just so badly wanting to vie for the attention of like movie critics and such like that, it to me leaves me kind of like, I don't know, like get it away from our space, you know. Not that I don't like movie adaptations or anything like that. It's just that it feels like a weird. It almost feels like when YouTubers want to have their own TV show or like live program on TV, and it's kind of like, what? Like your audience and everything that you built is here and wants you to be here, and no one wants to watch a fucking TV ad for like without any sort of control over skipping. So like, what? You know. We also didn't really need another remaster of Last of Us, but we're getting. I was about to say, yeah, a lot of it seemed like a weird choices. But, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great time, honestly. Even though, you know, like I said, the future doesn't look like excessively insane. You know, I haven't had that like seeing Dishonored for the first time, seeing Fallout 5, you know, or seeing Fable. Seeing any of these games that to me the last couple years have just made it like super magical. Like I'm super excited for the future. I like the idea of it anyway. I am happy that Xbox seems to not do that anymore. It seems like they're saying, no, it's far better for us to just showcase a game when it's coming out in a year. Because otherwise the thing goes like this and then drops. You know what I mean? Whereas if it's out in a year, people are like, oh, at least we can, like it's exciting to be able to get it in your hands eventually, like Starfield and stuff like that. But yeah, not bad, nothing cringy. Yeah, no, that was good. No like virtue signal or weirdness. There was no cringiness. It was just like, here are the games. Here's the gameplay, which I love. I love the fact that we've seen a lot of the gameplay, it seemed like, in a lot of these cases. I think they did a much better job of showcasing it than Sony, because Sony kind of showed a lot of like weird things like VR games and a lot of indie games and not like any big pooba. Like if they would have given like a demo of God of War, like previous times, that to me would have been like, okay, now Sony's kicking some ass. But because of the Starfield run through, because of the what do you call it, that vampire game that they showed as well, all those things kind of made to me it have a leg up in a different kind of way. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go raid a lovely human being who raided us a couple of days ago, last week I think, Luca, our boy Luca. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been nothing shy of absolutely brilliant. If you're watching this over at YouTube and past broadcast land, thank you so much for putting up with me and my perception of everything. Also, thank you so much for guys for hanging out with me, talking to me about video games. Appreciate it immensely. Always fun to hear what you guys think about. Even though I'm a little bit doom and gloom, I will say there's gonna be something exciting happening usually. Whether that's an indie game that seems like it's doing something that nobody else is doing, or something, or just maybe like games that should be live service games / have good bones are maybe the games that we should invest in. Like again, I think if Saints Row has a base level up mechanic, has customization, has co-op, has like guns that can have like infinite skin variability, if they have a ton of like side quests and conquest games, like imagine if Saints Row was fucking modded. Like just imagine the absurd chaos and beauty that could be, Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, please go tell Luca that he's nothing but lovely, because he absolutely is one of the people here on content creation land that is actually worth his salt. And not to be mean to everybody else, but he's just good people, and we all know that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys do enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And please go tell Luca some lovely things. Thank you kindly, and goodbye. Also, a video is coming out today. The long-ass book review. Sorry.
PokerStars.net.